is Travis Rogers. It is DeMarco Farr. The Travis and DeMarco Show is on for your Monday morning. Here we go, Monday, July 7th. Welcome back from 4th of July weekend. Hopefully the fireworks and all the accoutrements were beautiful. And this is the kickoff of the Arrowhead Water first pitch. Right here on the Travis and DeMarco Show each weekday at 9 a.m. Greg Bergman joins the show to talk all things baseball. The boys in blue, the Halos, and especially today, the Astros sweeping the boys in blue over the 4th of July weekend. What happened, man? We'll talk about it. The Arrowhead Water first pitch. And by the way, Mike Trudell sitting in for Travis Rogers this morning. So you know, first pitch is going to be even more festive. Thanks to our friends at Arrowhead Water, nothing else. Let's do it. Arrowhead Water first pitch right now on the Travis and DeMarco Show on 710 ESPN, the all-new ESPN LA app, and on YouTube at ESPN Los Angeles. Let's go. With DeMarco Farr and Greg Bergman sitting in for Travis Rogers, here is Mike Trudell.
Oh, that was a scream, DeMarco. That was awesome.
The roller coaster has begun. What's happening, True?
Oh, Travis and
Greg?
DeMarco.
Yes.
I am Mike Trudell, and I was shocked, DeMarco, when
Why?
Greg Bergman walked in here.
Shocked.
He's
Over
out
what?
on the Dodgers just because they lost
God,
over
oh,
the
he's
weekend.
trying to paint
Bergman
I'm
is
so
out.
upset. How could they
He's
with the
trying to
Astros?
paint you
It's
into a
over. They're not
corner.
winning everything. That's what you wanted? Something
Yes.
like that? That's
No,
what you
I
wanted?
knew.
No.
I knew you were too wise
No.
about the Blue to actually
How many
do that,
bad
Greg.
names do you have for the Astros?
I hate them so
How many bad names?
Trastros
Trastros?
is a
Is there
good
another one?
No, not that.
Okay.
I actually, when I have those types of arguments with people,
Yeah.
when they come to me and they say like bum for LeBron or some trash tros for for the Astros, I'm like, all right, I'm done with you. I don't have.
You don't have
I
anything?
can't have an
Okay,
argument with
but
you
you
anymore
hate them?
because you're no longer having a real conversation. You're just
Sometimes
saying
it's
bad
fun
things
to
about their
engage with
name.
crazy folk. Though.
I hate that. I
Sometimes
hate
you
that.
yell
I
back
don't
at
like
the guy
it.
at the bus stop.
No,
It's
yeah,
fun.
yeah,
Sometimes it's fun.
Oh, see, I like doing that sometimes.
Every now and then. But you hate them forever.
Forever,
Okay,
and
good.
ever.
Yeah,
Just
it's-
be careful
it's
yelling
a title,
at Altuve.
It's
You
a
can piss
title
them off.
robbed. Yeah, it's
Yes.
a title robbed.
Yeah.
Look, they did only score 6 runs in 3 games. That
wasn't
is
great.
the thing that surprised me. Like, I get the pitching staff; they're still getting guys back. Like
Wow.
all that, I get. But the runs that.
They got smashed.
So I am dismissing it as a bigger picture thing, but I do still want the explanation as to what happened over the weekend.
So I mean, I hate losing and getting swept by the Astros just because of who they are. But if you take it out and actually like look at what you saw over this weekend. Look at the pitchers that actually pitched and that were not very good. They're not going to act. They're not going to be pitching when it comes to October for the most part. Ben Kasperius, Justin Robleski may be long relievers, but because you have so many pitchers coming back, it's probably going to be one of those guys.
That's not the only reason it went bad. Just because
No, but it was like Noah Davis gave up 10 runs.
Right.
The guys that were being pitched besides Shohei Ohtani, Shohei looked good.
Yes.
Emmett Sheehan on Sunday looked good. Like those are the guys that you're going to actually see in October for the most part. Everybody else was just relievers that don't matter that much.
True.
And did nothing.
The bats though are typically not this quiet over the course of 3 games.
No, you're right, and they hadn't been going into this series. They were alive. I will say though, if you look at Mookie Betts, Mookie actually played really well over the weekend, and he has been playing much better. So that to me is a massive positive. The fact that Mookie is starting to hit. Also, I thought Hae-Sung Kim played great defense at second base. Got a couple of hits. I think there's a lot of.
Can you leave him in the lineup, please?
I would love. That's probably what's going to happen at this point because
Why are you
need
overthinking
that.
it if you're the Dodgers?
Well, Tommy Edman has an injury, so he's going to they'll probably sit him every once in a while. So you're going to get more Kim. It's going to be Kim and Kike Hernandez going back and forth because one versus left and one versus right.
Yeah, I'm happy Mookie is hitting, but I mean, you it's one reason to say you didn't pitch anyone. That's like saying we played our backup quarterback. That's why we lost. But you have to give them credit for how they pitched to you. That part has to be concerning.
Absolutely. They were
at
good.
least for a series.
We actually hit who was the pitcher on Saturday that I can't think of his name for the Astros right now.
Come on, Blue Review.
Valdez. Was it?
Valdez.
Yeah. They actually got to him. They were hitting him, and they were hitting him pretty well. So, that makes me feel a little bit better as well. So, look, it's just one weekend. It's the Astros that's what hurt, and it's Christian Walker. That dude, I swear, every time Christian Walker comes to Dodger Stadium, He is a beast.
Yeah,
he is
that's
prime Barry Bonds. The guy is insane. His numbers are stupid.
Either he hates you or wants to play here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he hates. He's better here at Dodger Stadium than any other ballpark in America, including Coors Field, where he's still really good at Coors Field. He's better at Dodger Stadium.
We'll find out what club he's going to. Let's go there.
Well, I do want to hear what you guys did in the long weekend. First, one other Dodger personal note. So I almost went to 2 of these games. So I get the invitation late, and I'm at the beach for the 4th of July game. And I'm like, all right. On the one hand, it's just gonna be chaos to get home, get the boys, get all the way to Dodger Stadium. But I have heard about the fireworks show, and so I'm kind of like,
that'd be pretty cool.
We end up not doing it, but then I'm kind of I have some FOMO, and so I'm looking still at the beach. I'm looking at my phone, and it's like, oh, okay, it's the score is 5-0, and then it's whatever one, and then it's 12-1.
Yeah.
And then it eventually gets
15-1.
You're in
so
the
I'm
right
feeling
place.
a little.
Yes.
So I'm like, that would have been miserable just watching the Astros score run after run. Although I do hear it's a great fireworks show.
Yeah, you would have had a really good fireworks show.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
about
I
it.
bet
If
you
you
did.
actually sat through all the way to the end.
That's when you maybe you go get an extra
Yay.
drink. Maybe the wife drives home. You're just kind of okay. It's fine. It's
There's
still
a
the
game in the
Dodgers,
background.
World Series
Right.
champion. You're out there. You're seeing runs scored, and you're just sort of embracing the moment. But I do think that would have been hard.
How
to
was
see.
your fireworks show, by the way, for the 4th? Mine was I couldn't see anything.
Why not?
It was overcast.
Well, that's
so I
yeah.
saw the launch, and then just like purple, red, and pink clouds.
It'd be a little bit
Green,
of a dud.
yes.
I heard a lot of them got canceled.
Really?
Just like they weren't allowed to have. There was a $5,000 fine if you were caught with.
This is on
fireworks.
the ocean, South Bay, the barge.
Oh,
so
yeah,
you could
it's
see
like
them
El
going up,
Segundo.
and it just
Yeah.
lit up the sky. Yeah, but you
Yeah.
couldn't see
I
anything.
think they were against the neighborhood fireworks, not
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
planned ones
Yeah,
that
the
are
planned
out in the ocean.
That was the most subdued 4th of July I think I've seen here since the Rams came back. Like usually,
understandably
the whole place
so, though,
is all lit up.
Understandably
Right.
so after
Yeah.
January and
Right.
all of that for sure. But it was the extra long weekend though, Greg, where like when the holiday's on the Friday and then it's Saturday and you're like, wait, it
wonderful.
feels like it's
Thank
it's
God.
glorious. Yeah. Any
I would
highlights
vote
for you?
that.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we had a really we do this every single year in my complex. We just get one of those big slides, like the inflatable slides, so that
Sure.
kids can go into the pool, and that was a ton of fun. And then we usually, despite the $5,000 fine, usually light fireworks in the pool area where I am, and it's a big one, so they go straight up
Did
in
you
the
just
air.
admit that on the radio?
Are
you
we did not
insane?
we did not do it this year.
Jorge,
we
well,
did
let's
not
do
do
it.
it
It's
this
within
year.
the
You
structure.
just
You're
gave
the-
up
you're
all
the one pointing
game.
it out. You're the chihuahua in this case.
You don't know where I live. You don't know
gave up
anything
all
about
game.
me.
How dare you?
I'm
But it
picturing
was
Wow.
a ton of fun.
I'm picturing a complex like in Melrose Place or something back in the
Yeah.
to date myself
No,
with
it's
the
not-
roster.
it's not like
where,
that.
Like
It's
there's a
not-
pool in
it's
the
not like
middle and everybody's coming out and kind of
There
their
you go.
apartments are right outside the pool. No, it's not like that.
No, we have
Okay,
we
okay.
do have 2 giant pools in the
Awesome.
back behind the parking lot.
Okay,
but
okay.
it's also it's a lot of tequila. Let's put it that
There
way.
you go.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
nice.
part of what it's about. So, Marco, your weekend though was highlighted. It sounds like by Filipino card games.
Oh,
from what I
man.
gathered before.
Was it?
Yeah, so I did a couple of different styles of 4th of July celebrating.
Yep.
So one was normal, Beach City. The other one, I think I was at a house that was owned by immigrants. So I learned a lot about people, and I learned a new freaking card game. Can't remember what it's called, but it's like Filipino something dos, where the
Yeah.
2 of spades is the
Oh.
biggest. What's it called?
No,
You don't.
I-
You've
I
heard
kn-
it before.
I know it.
Something.
I'll remember in a minute.
It's like spades, poker, and blackjack all in one hand.
You start with like the 3 of clubs or something like
Yes.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird, and I got like smacked twice. It was fun. Like when you lose and do something stupid, they get mad at you. Yeah, like I could have won if you didn't do that, like, blackjack. But it was fun.
It did get me thinking, like, what is the greatest family card game, or just card game when a bunch of people are around?
Uno. Uno's great.
Uno's a really good one.
Uno's a great card game for families.
It gets
That
crazy.
That gets hot.
So
yeah.
agree, but Uno. So Uno. Let me.
That's
stipulate
everybody.
here.
The kids can play.
I know,
Yeah.
but it can't be one that's already sort of branded. That's got like the special cards. I'm saying like just a deck. You got one deck of cards, and you got to make everybody happy.
Oh,
like
okay.
is it spades? Is it hearts?
My
is
go-to
it,
is spades
is it
with
poker?
cards. Yeah, go.
Spades is a good one.
Yeah.
If it's with kids, Crazy Eights. That's very
Crazy Eight's a good
as
one.
close to Uno as possible.
Speed.
Speed. Oh, that's only a 2-person game though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but still, like it's just
Which
winner.
one is speed? Like where you both you
It's
throw
black
out
and
one
red, black and red,
whoever's-
black and red, black and
Yeah.
red.
Oh yeah, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, yeah.
okay.
There you go.
All right, okay.
Yes.
All right. So we're gonna. I want to get back to the Dodgers, and then we'll go in a different direction after this.
No,
but-
nothing's wrong. There's no
Greg,
panic.
just give me the. I keep coming up to the. I say the same thing kind of that you did. It's like, look, when the playoffs come, The rotation is going to be set. Everything's going to look different. Obviously, everybody can hit. When will the team be whole enough from a pitching standpoint? Like, what is the latest on everybody from a pitching standpoint?
So Tyler Glasnow may actually pitch on Wednesday. He may be the starter on Wednesday. He'll probably only go about 3 pitches because then his calf is going to hurt or he can't. His foot's going to slip.
You didn't have to
slip.
I
I have
Just
to
keep going.
because that's the type of guy he is.
Look,
I don't mind. This is real Dodger
he's
talk.
Going
it's
to
not
be nails
570 nonsense.
from here on out, and you're going to.
I hope
that.
so.
And you're going to eat.
I hope
that.
so.
Go ahead.
I hope so.
Glasnow and
Blake. Why are you so mad about it?
I'm not mad.
Blake Snell.
Actually, I'm mad because you're not like down in the dumps. We wanted you to be like.
I know you
Panic
really
Bus
did.
guy.
Why? That's just not.
I didn't.
Be.
It's a better look for you.
I don't. I'm not going to be fake on here. But either way, Blake Snell is going to be having a rehab assignment this week, so he could be coming back semi soon.
Yeah.
Roki Sasaki is pitching off of
Will
Mount.
be coming back semi soon.
I think that's going to be.
I mean,
legit.
he's going to a rehab assignment.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty big deal.
It's on the way.
In fact, yes, that means it's on the way. After the All-Star break, you're going to start seeing basically everybody come back. So at that point, you're going to have Glasnow back, hopefully Snell back, not too much longer after that. You already have Kershaw. You already have Yamamoto. Dustin May pitched away.
I'm so happy you said Kershaw.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yes, good for him. We should get into
You
the,
wanted him
All-Star
like
at some
shot
point.
last year.
No, I didn't.
I'm kidding. Go ahead.
And then, so you're going to have pretty much a full rotation at some point. So, and then you're going to move all these guys. Like Sheehan is going to maybe pitch every once in a while.
And then the bullpen gets
Kasperius
strengthened
goes
as a
back to the
result.
bullpen where he's supposed to be. All this stuff is all coming
Yes,
together.
Pitching is going to sort itself out. You're going to have some arms come back. I just hope that your bats are as hot as your arms are when that does happen, because it's going to happen. The math says it's going to happen.
About the bats.
There's just
You
too
don't
much,
worry about the bats?
No, there's way
I
too much
do.
talent
Yeah.
to be worried at all about the bats.
Yeah.
I couldn't be less worried about the
About
bats.
the bats at all. Okay.
Pasoy-dos.
Pasoy-dos.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I learned something else too. The Filipino, they drink like duck embryos or something. Like
Oh, yeah. Well, you should ask Carlo about it. It's called balut.
that.
Yeah.
Yes. It was so interesting. Yes. I'd never heard that before.
That's a very delicacy that you have to be.
Well,
there's
I
like
mean,
feathers in it still. It's weird.
If you're out with the boys and you go drinking.
Did you do it? Did you have
No,
balut?
no. This is what the guy told me. This is what I learned. So we're out in the Philippines and we're drinking.
Yep.
When you come out of the bar, there's going to be a bunch of people selling it, and it's part of like being a Filipino. So if you get handed one, I don't want to be the guy that turns it down. So if I'm in that environment, I may have to
Trudell.
to do it.
Trudell, if you see little bits of feathers in your drink, are you going to be...
See, that's what I said.
It doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
The sweeter the better. Guys, I want you to mark your calendars. And umbrellas, by the way, are welcome in any of my drinks. Mark your calendars this Friday, July 11th at the West Covina Sportsplex. Don't miss your chance to press the flesh with us and root on your favorite 710 personality during the summer tradition unlike any other. Live broadcast and event begins at 9 a.m. with Travis and DeMarco. The festivities for the 710 All-Star Game get underway at 6 p.m. All at the West Covina Sportsplex. That's 2100 South Azusa Avenue in West Covina. Be sure to bring your coolers and lawn chairs for AllStar Friday night, made possible by our friends at Rotolo Chevrolet. See what all the fun is about at Rotolo Chevrolet. Okay, Greg
Bruce Lee's
hinted
on
at
TV.
this.
Yay.
Okay. All-Star, a couple of snubs and a couple of expected. We will get into that coming up next. Travis and DeMarco, Trudell filling in.
This is the Arrowhead Water first pitch on the Travis and DeMarco Show on 710 ESPN, the all-new ESPN LA app, and on YouTube at ESPN Los Angeles. Arrowhead Water, nothing else. More of First Pitch next on 710.
For ESPN LA contest rules, go to ESPNLA.com and click the contest button.
Your next Subaru is waiting for you at Subaru of Glendale. Check this out. Lease a new 2025 Subaru Crosstrek Sport CVT for just $279 a month plus tax for 36 months. One at this payment. VIN S3723202. MSRP $32,189. $33.99 due at signing. Call 888-855-6434 or check out SubaruofGlendale.net. On approved Tier 1 credit through Subaru Motors Finance. No security deposit. 10,000 miles a year. Model code SRD-21.
Don't navigate the legal system alone. Hey, it's Travis. At the personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand, they will fight tirelessly to get you the max compensation you deserve. Joe and his team understand the emotional and financial toll that an injury can take on you and your life. Call 213-747-2000 or visit normandlegal.com. The law offices of Joseph S. Normand have helped thousands of people like you recover millions of dollars in settlements and verdicts. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. Your recovery is their priority.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed.
From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos. Fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
This is the Travis and DeMarco Show on 710 ESPN, the all-new ESPN LA app, and on YouTube at ESPN Los Angeles. This is the Arrowhead Water first pitch with Greg Bergman talking all things boys in blue and the Halos. Arrowhead Water first pitch, Arrowhead Water, nothing else. Let's get back to first pitch right now on the Travis and DeMarco Show on 710.
All right, that's right. Travis and Marco. Trudell in today for Trav.
Yes,
and
he's on assignment.
Bergman
yes.
in the mix here.
Berg style.
By the way, Arrowhead's first pitch with
right.
Greg Bergman, and that's going to be something that you're going to get used to.
Yeah, this is going to be
show.
every day moving forward.
Good.
Through the end of the season and into the playoffs.
I look
hopefully.
forward to watching you go down in the dumps and then top of the mountain and then down in the dumps and then top of the mountain.
Did you just qualify the Dodgers' playoff chances with a hopefully?
No. Hopefully this first pitch goes into
Yes.
the postseason. I don't know if it goes into the postseason, but it will be through the rest of the regular season.
Doldrums,
All right.
panic bus,
I'd
euphoria.
Panic, as much as Sedano loves to say I panic about everything.
You're a baseball fan, right?
Yeah.
You all panic. It's so fun to watch.
There's nothing to panic about in the middle of a regular season that means nothing because
Greg,
they're going to make the postseason.
He's mentioning baseball, because football teams don't panic on Monday.
You got a game
There's
coming
no,
Sunday.
There's no panic
and we got
greater
7
than the
days
NFL.
in between, and it's fun.
Agreed, by the way.
No, there's no panic.
I work for an NFL team.
Yes.
Okay, it's been a long time, but there's nothing
There's
like...
no panic. There's despair.
But the Monday after a loss in
yeah.
the NFL is the worst. You have to wait a whole week for your next game. There's nothing. Everyone's in a
Monday-
bad mood the whole week. In the NBA, at least you get back on the horse in a day.
But the Monday after your 7th consecutive loss for the same reasons in a row, it's not really desperation.
Even one loss,
or
you got to
panic.
sit on that
It's
for a whole week.
Resignation.
It is panic for you. I seen you come in here multiple
Trust
times
me.
after they started off like 0-2
The
or
only
3-5. You're like, this is done.
panic-
This is
on this
done.
The panic I have is like after 5-6 games win streaks. You have to keep this up.
Okay.
And the playoffs are coming. That might be a panic.
You're panicking after a win
Heck
streak?
yeah, man. Yes.
All right, fair enough.
Everybody's happy, then you realize it's not as good as you think.
Well,
so that's panic.
let's get into some of the All-Star stuff for the Dodgers here. Starting with Clayton Kershaw. So
Yeah.
this is the special commissioner's selection. We've seen this happen
Legend
before in various sports. I remember a few in the NBA in recent times. Dirk Nowitzki, I know, got in there for a late one. There was a Dwayne Wade year. So, I mean, look, there's nothing negative you can say about this. Clayton Kershaw, kind of like a Lifetime Achievement Award, essentially.
Yeah, it's just a little tip of the cap because he hit 3,000 strikeouts. Who knows if he's ever going to have another one? Who knows if he plays longer than this season? So the commissioner just saying, hey, here you go. Let's give you an 11th All-Star appearance.
Yes.
Like, cool, great. I mean, there's no problem with it.
It's an opportunity to say thank you or to celebrate a career. But I'm glad
and a milestone.
I'm glad he's pitched well enough to even get that nod. Because if he sucked this year, you wouldn't be able to do this without people saying you're making a mockery of the All-Star game.
No, well, I mean, mockery of the All-Star game. I don't like who really cares about the All-Star games at this point.
Some people do.
Well, it's not for you don't get you don't get home field anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't do much of
so that
anything.
did kind of matter.
Yeah, at some point.
AL won every year.
Who's the kid from Seattle? The catcher.
Cal Raleigh.
I'm sure it means
Man,
a lot
that
to him.
guy. What do you call
He's
him?
too
Big
big
Dumper?
to
Big
call
Dumper.
a kid, yeah.
I'm sure it means a lot to him to make the All-Star. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it means a lot to guys. So
like
and
in terms of taking somebody's spot for sure. But I think this is more of like an add-on spot, right? He's not actually taking a roster position.
But if he was still in search of this, and it's like remote possibility he would not get this year, they probably don't make this move.
Well, and then
you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, if he hasn't pitched well and he didn't get to 3,000 strikeouts, they probably just say, okay, let's kind of hold off on it. Maybe if you come back for next year, it's going to be your last year, whatever it happens to be. But
that's why I said
it's
good
great.
for him. And,
yeah.
and when you talk about later on, when you get Glasnow back, if you stop insulting the guy, and Blake Snell back, and Yamamoto still pitches like Yamamoto, and whatever you figure out with Shohei, like your pitching staff changes a lot, but you did mention Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah.
I thought that was huge because a lot of Dodger fans have written him off. As soon as last year. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. So good for him to be in this situation.
Yeah, I mean, Kershaw, so his numbers, it's tough because if you compare him to himself, it doesn't look great.
Right.
Because he's one of the all-time greats. But like his
just compare him to baseball.
His whip right now is 1.25.
Yeah,
his ERA is 3.43.
Like for him, good. I mean, like
that's fine.
That 37-year-old Kershaw that throws 88 miles an hour, like that's pretty good for him, and he is kind of keeping up, and he's winning games. Like I think he threw 8 or 9 games he hasn't lost yet.
Yeah.
So that's huge. This is what he always does. Kershaw Day is a big deal because when he comes out there, he's going to stop a losing streak, or he is going to start a winning streak, or he's going to do something that is like he's a great pitcher, and he deserves everything, all the accolades.
Now the best pitcher on the staff, of course, no surprise that Yoshinobu Yamamoto is an all-star, a whip of 1.01, 2.51 ERA, nasty stuff.
Yep.
He's been awesome basically the whole time, so that we don't even need to spend a ton of time on that. That was kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, no, that one's an easy one, and I think you're gonna like the Shohei one. That's an easy no-brainer. Freddie Freeman's Freddie Freeman's easy because it's in Atlanta more so than anything.
Well, isn't it more so than anything because he's an awesome player?
He is an awesome player, but the month of June was absolutely horrendous for Freddie Freeman. So
and there's Pete Alonso out there too that people could have maybe had as the starter instead of him.
Emily's absolutely right. There's other guys that have been having a better year than him, but because it's in Atlanta,
you get
he
the
was
nod.
really good in May,
and you're defending
really
champ.
bad in June.
Yeah.
But hold on. Okay, I'm pushing back slightly at this though. So whenever there's an all-star, like the all-star for me, there's at least something that has to be taken into account from not just the previous season but the career. In other words, you can't overreact to like a bad month of June for a Freddie Freeman when everything that he's ever put on tape, that everything that he's put on wax, is mostly consistent with what his overall season numbers are.
Well,
and his numbers are very much worthy of being an all-star.
So worthy,
That's
but
all.
someone has better numbers, and we can get into more about better numbers in a second with Andy Pages. But to Emily's point, Pete Alonso has been very, very good all year, has been an all-star, is somebody that should be getting that nod over him. I mean, I love Freddie. I love everything he's done, but it is year by year for everybody.
That's not true.
No,
I'm kidding.
I love
Pete
Freddie.
Alonso has been great this year.
Well, here, do you have in front
Freddie
of you?
Freeman going back to Atlanta,
yeah, I do.
as defending champion and an all-star,
Yeah,
I think is
just makes so much sense.
Super interesting, yes.
Well, here
he's a reserve. Pete Alonso is a reserve, so he still got in, but still, that's the starter. Freddie's the starter because it's in Atlanta.
He does look like a polar bear.
That's the only reason. He does look like a polar bear.
He looks exactly like a polar bear. The Pepsi,
Pete
was
Alonso.
it Pepsi polar bear?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he looks
It
like
was
the
Coke.
Coke.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about. Those,
it was one
polar
of them. They
bears. He
taste
looks
the same.
just like one.
So
people are gonna get so mad at me for saying that it tastes the same.
So Freddie has a better glove. First of all,
yeah,
he does.
Pete Alonso. Okay, so that's
Especially
one side
this year.
Now we know that. So Alonso's always going to have better power numbers in terms of the homers.
Sure.
So he's got 20. Freddie's got 10 averages. So Alonso's 287, and I'm just giving the basic stats.
Sure.
We can get into everything. So 307 for Freeman. Pete Alonso 287. Obviously, Alonso's got more RBIs, and the OPS is going to be higher for Alonso. But it's not. I think that what Freddie's accomplished to this point of the season, what he did last year, on top of what you said, the Atlanta thing, that does factor in a little bit. But ultimately, we're not even really arguing. They're both in the game.
No,
they're both great players.
They should be in the game.
You're just saying that if you're just going off this baseball season, you would argue that Alonso should be starting. That's all.
Should be starting 100%.
If one was starting
I can
the other,
understand that.
you'd be okay with both, right?
Now,
They're
the one that I have the biggest problem with is Andy Pages. Andy Pages deserves to be in the AllStar game over Fernando Tatis Jr. And I can explain it this way: there are guys.
Just Tatis, or were you going to throw some other other guys in that?
No, because there's four reserves,
You
right?
just want to pick on Cappy?
No, yes, very much so. That's actually like one of my favorite things to do. But if you look at who the reserves are for the outfield in the NL, Corbin Carroll makes sense. Great outfielder. Totally understand it. Kyle Stowers from Miami. Totally understand it. He's the only guy. You have to have one guy from every team. Miami has one guy. It's Kyle Stowers. Makes sense. James Wood is that same thing, but for Washington. He's also really, really good and hit a lot of home runs.
Also going to be in the home run derby.
And also going to be in the home run derby. But he's really good and the one guy from Washington. Then the last guy is Fernando Tatis Jr. Doesn't make sense that he's in there whatsoever, especially when you have Manny Machado already in, so you don't need to put someone in. He's getting in by name value alone. His numbers are just not great. They're not Fernando Tatis type numbers at all.
261, 15 homers, 39 RBIs. Yeah,
the only real thing of great measure that he's better than Pages in terms of numbers is his WAR.
Yep.
He does have a better WAR, but everything else pretty much is Pages if you do them side by side.
So he has better WAR, he has more stolen bases, and he has a better on-base percentage, and all of those are pretty close besides stolen bases. If you look at
was he fan vote though? Tatis?
No, he's one of the reserves.
He's one of the reserves.
So Pages has more hits, more home runs, more RBIs, better batting average, better slug, better OPS, and better OPS plus. And this was Blake Harris put this out there the other day. Like this, Pages is better defensively. He's better in every single category. Pages is being snubbed just for the sake of not having more Dodgers in is the only thing I can think of. Because Tatis is not having a good year. This is not a Tatis level year.
So to me, that would be more of a, like, if you're going to make an All-Star game, unless your stats are just so ridiculously overwhelming, and Pages are really good, but like unless you're completely blowing it out of anywhere, take whatever sport it is, you have to have had sort of more up to that point of your career to get the nod. And so, like,
you go with the name guy.
You go with the name, generally speaking, like in any sport.
But should it be that way? That you look at past performance to be about the current year performance?
Is it close
to you?
All-Star game. Did he beat him by a nose?
So
it's close enough to where the argument's
10 more
ridiculous.
hits, 2 more home runs, 20 more RBIs. 40.4 more.
That sounds
258 to 293 batting average.
To me. That sounds like a snub. Maybe
70% slugging percentage 503 to 439. OPS 835 to 789. It's just it's bigger everywhere.
Maybe it's the Dodger tax. There's too many.
I think so.
It could be.
That's what I think it is.
And it happens every now and then. And maybe you didn't make a strong enough case to break through that.
By the way,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. If you runners in scoring position, he's like 4th or 5th in all of baseball.
You know what I would say? Should have been 3rd.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe. I mean,
it's a snub.
It's got to be a no-brainer, or you get snubbed.
All right, there might be one bigger snub, and quickly, I want to see if you can. This surprised me a little bit on who's actually leading the Dodgers in WAR. We'll get to that after the break. It's Trudell sitting in for Travis and DeMarco, and we got Bergman in the mix as well.
This is the Arrowhead Water first pitch on the Travis and DeMarco Show on 710 ESPN, the all-new ESPN LA app, and on YouTube at ESPN Los Angeles. Arrowhead Water, nothing else. More of First Pitch next on 710.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. We are ranked number 18 in the nation and number 1 in Orange County for orthopedic and spine care by U.S. News & World Report. From the surf to the green, our world-class doctors are there, which is why more Californians choose Hoag Orthopedic Institute for orthopedic and spine care more than any other hospital. At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you. Proudly founded by premier physicians in partnership with Hoag. Learn more at HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com.
You know I love the outdoors and adventures. Hey, it's Travis calling all adventurers. Page, Arizona is your ultimate outdoor playground. Snap that iconic shot at Horseshoe Bend. Then hike the stunning 11-mile rim trail. Explore one of 13 breathtaking slot canyons, including world-famous Antelope Canyon. Craving water fun? Cruise Lake Powell by kayak, jet ski, or houseboat, or float the Colorado River to Lee's Ferry. Make Page your base camp for day trips to Grand Canyon, Zion, and the Wave. Start planning your trip today at visitpageaz.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
And yes, welcome to the Travis and DeMarco Show. Now mornings, 9 a.m. to noon on 710 ESPN. Your destination for LA sports. Let's get back to the fellas. The Travis and DeMarco Show continues right now.
All right, welcome back to Travis and DeMarco. Mike Trudell in for Travis today, and Greg Bergman still joining us. I was surprised. We were talking about the differences between. Well, because technically, right, you're going to be coming in for the Dodger segments and just in general. But I begged you to stay an extra segment.
You did. You begged and pleaded.
That's why I said still.
He asked you once, and you said yes.
Yeah. It's like, if you need me to, sure.
Not that I don't want to be alone with DeMarco. Trust me, I'm looking forward to
good.
that. I'm looking forward to that. I was a little surprised by this, and one of you had the correct answer as to who leads the Dodgers in WAR at this point of the season. And
it was you, DeMarco.
So who is it?
It's Will Smith.
Yeah. So, it's just.
But the first thing we both said or thought, or at least I thought, it's got to be Shohei. And then when you think about it, the reason he asked it can't be Shohei, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Will Smith. Hey, he's been the guy. He's had a fantastic year. Why not Will Smith? Turns out I was right.
And he also, like, his OPS, which is kind of ties into this, but 993 now, WAR 3.9. And he's just to me, he's kind of like the unsung hero of the Dodgers.
He's been fantastic. He's leading all of baseball with runners in scoring position, batting average. So he's been great.
332 average.
Yeah, great when people are in second or third. And I love the way they're handling Will Smith this year. They brought up Dalton Rushing so they could bring somebody on so they can give Will Smith a little bit of rest at times, 2-3 times a week. And because of that, he's staying consistently hot throughout the year. Now it has to stay all the way through October, obviously, but the way they're handling it right now is great because most catchers, actually pretty much all catchers, when it gets to about the All-Star break, they start to wear down. You're on your knees a lot, like you're constantly it hurts your body to be a catcher.
Credit to Rushing for not screwing this up.
Yeah, I mean he wasn't playing too hot, but he got a couple hits
while the guy is resting. That's good stuff.
Upgrade over Austin Barnes,
yes,
for sure. And I think that one of the things, so we've seen a lot of these deals for the Dodgers, these big long deals with Shohei, big deals for Freddie and Mookie, but with Will is going to be a great deal because it's 10 years, but it's relatively cheap, and he's proving in his second year of this deal that he's worth every penny, at least right now. And catchers do have depreciating value, so by the end of this deal, he might not be what it is, but it's going to be cheap.
How long do you?
It's a great deal.
How long do you think Will Smith can be Will Smith, All-Star level?
He can do it for another at least 5-6 years. Then it just becomes, what does he do after that? How long does he stay a catcher? Does he move to first base when Freddie Freeman moves on? Maybe, possibly.
Okay.
I mean, there's different places to put him at times, but if he's going to be the catcher for
with him,
quite some time.
Will Smith as a Dodger gets you. I was just thinking about Rushing for 2 seconds. Like, what if he keeps developing? Will he be your Dodger catcher at some point or a trade piece?
I hope he's not a trade piece because he's supposed to be the next Dodger catcher to move to be in that lineage. But for the most part, I mean, the idea is that I think what it is to have him catch for as long as he can possibly catch. When Freddie moves on and you need another first baseman, eventually you move him up there because that's a pretty easy transition. A lot of guys can play first base, but it could be a variety of things. But that's just my thought.
All right, so we were discussing All-Star snubs, and I think there's a bigger one than Pajes, and that would be Juan Soto.
True.
Did not get in, and so again you got Corbin Carroll, Kyle Sowers, Tatis Jr., James Wood. And Soto, I mean, his numbers are good. They're not great.
He's been on fire.
He's been on fire
recently.
in June. Everybody knows how good he is. I mean, the Dodgers certainly know from seeing him in the postseason, and Like the Yankees and Mets, of course, fought for him, and eventually the Mets caved to basically every one of his demands. So this one was. Can we explain this as to why Soto is not in the game?
I think it could be a variety of things. I think it could be that he started off the year pretty poor. Like he didn't start really heating up until beginning mid-June is when he really started to heat up, so that could possibly play into it. And also because he has such a giant contract and he wasn't playing up to it to start the season off. He has a higher contract than Shohei, and that's insanity to me. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever that he would get more just because he's younger. He does one thing, and he doesn't play defense well at all. He does one thing, and that's hit and walk for the most part. And so it was just too big of a deal. I think people held that against him, kind of like a Tyrese Halliburton in NBA, just calling him the most overrated. I think it's along those lines.
The best thing to happen to the Mets, though.
Oh yeah, no, they're ecstatic about it because he's hitting right now.
If this don't wake you up, I don't know what will. If you're Juan Soto,
I mean he's awake,
but
he's wide awake.
I'm just saying.
I mean, most Met fans are not happy with Juan Soto, and the whole entirety of the year they don't like him, and so then this AllStar vote rely a lot on fans.
You're speaking for Mets fans.
Yes.
As a general rule, I need more on this.
I would say most Met fans Met fans I've met in life, and Met fans that I see on Twitter, people in podcasts and stuff, don't like the idea that Juan Soto is not giving enough effort.
And
his own coach called him out, or manager called him out. The all the radio over there calls him out, and so they're upset with the amount of effort that in regards to his contract.
He's underperformed, and he's given you some things to yell about his effort. That's the thing.
That's always kind of been that's always been Juan Soto, though.
Right. That's Travis. That's everyone else's opinion. You knew this when you signed him.
Yeah.
But it still hasn't stopped people from dumping on him a little bit, and I think that has affected his All-Star.
Yeah, so that kind of leads into the whole thing.
And it goes to Emily's point. So if Mets fans are upset with him and they're not voting for him, he's not going to get in. Like, he was nowhere near the top 6, was he? No. Yeah, so the top 6 in the outfield moved on and on. Yeah. And he didn't get there because of just that. He's great right now, but the contract
But
and
New York fans being upset, that's a shocker right there, right? New York sports fans.
Never.
Yeah.
And that's where, and Emily, that's where I jumped on that because I'm always trying to think about the difference between what a narrative is about a player and about a fan base. And sure, the New York Post headlines, right? That this first time that he doesn't run out a ground ball or something to first base,
you know how it is.
Relative to what kind of the rational people think, in kind
You're
of this,
making $700 million. You can't run the first.
Well,
is that New York?
Is
that
close.
Pretty good?
It was kind of a Boston.
Yes, I expect more out of you, Soto.
But that's the corollary between when Greg came in, and I was like, all right, well, we're not actually going to do the Dodgers are in trouble thing. Yeah. That's all. It seems like Juan Soto isn't worth his contract. To me, it's kind of like, the Dodgers aren't going to. Are struggling. The pitching's not that they're not. They got swept by the Astros. Like that alarmist type stuff. Because ultimately, Juan Soto comes up to the plate for all of his foils, and you are nervous.
Oh my God!
And that's it. That's
every
all.
time.
That's it.
And now he may be pissed off. Just like you guys made Altuve mad.
I just don't know. What? Don't laugh at me about
I'm
Altuve.
just saying.
That is a bad word in my house.
You got to be careful.
You don't say
with
Altuve anywhere.
How long can you boo Altuve? Until he retires?
Forever.
Of
even
course.
after.
Yeah.
Even after he retires. If he shows up for some reason on for the Astros at Dodger Stadium, I'm still gonna boo him.
Okay, here's the thing.
Never, ever, ever, ever. Him, Correa, and Bregman. You're out of my life forever.
What if your boos actually help him that day?
I'm sure
it helps the Dodgers lose that day.
The
more you boo him, the better he plays against you. You'd still boo.
I'm going to boo for the rest of my life towards Jose Altuve. I hope he never makes the Hall of Fame.
What if Bregman becomes a Dodger?
No, see, okay.
Thank you, John. About that.
Thank you, John Ireland. No.
Come on.
Absolutely not.
You got to let it go.
Absolutely not.
Right.
No,
I'm kidding.
Whoa.
I take that back.
Let
I retract. I retract that statement. I'm sorry. Look at him. He got mad.
All right, so
you want me to freak out?
There it is.
That's
we got him.
Freak out. Talk about the Astros in a positive light. Sure.
We've got a couple more minutes of Bergman.
Yes.
Are Mason and Ireland both back today? One of them gone?
That's a good question. I assume they're both here, but you
on.
never know.
Okay. All right.
It's Mason or Ireland at the time of the year.
Any Mason or Ireland stories that you'd like to tell us in the next 2 minutes?
Oh, no. I'm gonna stay. Every time I've ever talked about Mason and Ireland on another show, it has gone very, very badly. You're not as good as Sedano is at doing that to me.
No, I'm not.
Snake charmer
I don't even
stuff
want it.
doesn't work.
I don't even want it to happen.
They're wonderful people, and I love working with them so much.
I love one of them very much. I love one of them very much. I won't say which one.
No, I'm pretty sure I know which one it is. The one person
Very
you will
Ryan
never say a
Seacrest
negative thing about at all. He never says one thing bad about Ireland ever.
Greg, I want to know your opinion about this. So Ohtani is stretched out. He's stretched out to 2.
Yep.
He struck out the side in the second inning.
Yep.
How long until we see him go further? How long do we see until you see him go 4, 5, 6 innings?
So 4, 5, 6 innings probably won't happen until September to be ramped up for October. But for the most part, Ohtani he's ahead of schedule. Like, he's not supposed to even be pitching right now. He was supposed to pitch after the All-Star break. So for the fact that he can go
early.
Yeah, he's way, way early. So I think they want to just get him ramped up to 5, 6 total for this season. So they're always going to have somebody behind him. They're going to have somebody piggybacking him. And if he can get to 5 innings by September, that'd be awesome. But for the most part, I don't think it's going to happen for a while.
You can't say that pitching hasn't affected him at the plate.
So, I mean, you hope that it doesn't, but I think it's really just that first at-bat. It's that first at-bat that I think for the most part
I believe he's going to overcome it. He hasn't done it in how long?
2 years.
Yeah, it's going to take a minute to be that guy.
He even said it. So he said this after he pitched on, I believe it was Saturday. I don't feel too bad at the plate. At the same time, I'm recognizing pitches I should be able to hit, which I'm not. Usually it's a matter of a little bit of a difference with the way that I'm swinging and the cage work. Hopefully I can apply that on the field.
Well, just like Soto, I don't care. You can't use the fact that I'm pitching the reason that my numbers are down after the All-Star break or in the postseason.
But in baseball, though,
I'm paying you $700 million.
I can almost always.
He's already made that back.
Yeah, I can almost always make a sample size argument, though, and this is certainly one of them in baseball.
No doubt,
of
course.
He's only had so many. How many?
4.
4. So let's
he's going to.
Or no, I'm saying at bats. Like how many at bats during those? And so multiply by 3 or 4.
Yeah,
it's not enough to. And I don't think that Ohtani as a hitter is something that I'm going to be worrying about anytime ever.
How's Max Muncy?
So it's actually really, really good news somehow.
That looked bad.
That looks so
bone
bad.
bruise. It looked like his knee went like a flamingo, where he went backwards, and he's still fine. No ligament damage apparently.
Yeah,
just a bone bruise. 6 weeks is what they're saying.
So
that's amazing.
When his knee bent, I'm like, he blew everything out.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's what it looked like for sure. So that's
it wasn't just an MCL. It looked like an ACL.
Then,
it was.
Greg, just take us through quickly the kind of the plan for filling in and who's going to play third and how much and
So
what's the plan?
it's gonna depend. It's either going to be it's Kike Hernandez is going to be there or Miguel Rojas for the most part. And then I think Tommy Edman is now taking balls at third base so that he could start playing a little bit of third base as well, which then turns into Haesung Kim playing more second base.
I love Kim.
He's great.
He's so good, man.
He's just so fun to watch.
He's so fun. It's like he's just there. He'd be like the other team that I watch sometimes, the Minnesota Twins, where I'm from, and I'm like, he'd be like our 4th best player.
He's playing twice a week.
The field
Can you leave
for the
him
Dodgers.
out there, please? Can you just leave him out there?
I hope they do. I hope
just leave him there.
All right. Well, Bergman,
Appreciate
thank you
you
so much for joining us.
Thanks to Arrowhead.
You will be back. Thanks to Arrowhead. How often,
back?
by the way?
You're coming
tomorrow.
Every
day.
Oh
Me and you, baby. Every day for 30 minutes. And this time 45.
Door lock.
Coming up next, I am going to grill DeMarco with NFL questions, and he is going to fire back Laker questions at me. Looking forward to the rest of the show. Thanks to Greg for stopping by. It's Travis DeMarco.
Yeah.
The most followed sports radio station in the world.
In the world. That's right. In the world.
710 ESPN.
You know it. Yeah, tell your friends.
At ESPN Los Angeles on Instagram, Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch.
We're naturally entertaining.
Yes. LA's mega sports station. 710 ESPN.
Hey, John Ireland here. Laker fans, meet Pro Baller Energy, the official energy drink of the Lakers. It's a natural, healthier alternative loaded with ultra-premium ingredients like organic agave, electrolytes, B vitamins, and natural caffeine. Plus, it's NSF certified for sport. Just clean energy to keep you locked in without the crash or synthetic junk. So go grab yourself the limited edition Lakers can and rep the team in style. Pro Baller Energy, champions choose clean energy.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. In the market for new flooring? Why pay more at big box stores? At Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, every day is a deal, no gimmicks. Call 866-62-FLOOR or visit them online at hernandezwholesaleflooring.net. No sale beats wholesale.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
And yes, welcome to the Travis and DeMarco Show. Now mornings, 9 a.m. to noon on 710 ESPN, your destination for LA sports. Let's get back to the fellas. The Travis and DeMarco Show continues right now.
You unlock this door with a key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sound, a dimension of sight, a dimension of mind. You're moving into the land of shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've crossed over into the far side.
I'm in the far side.
You're in the far side.
It is the middle ground between light and shadow.
Do you know what helped?
4 or 5 hour ride.
I jumped in the ocean. It helped.
Between science and superstition.
I gotta feel quick. I gotta feel quick. I gotta feel fast. I want to feel naked out there.
And it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. The far side.
You gosh dang right. What's up there, True?
Hey, far side.
I got this picture. Godfather of soul, Godfather of funk, Godfather of music, and King of pop. James Brown, George Clinton. Mm-hmm. The King of music is Prince, and the King of pop is Michael Jackson. I thought King of music was weird to give a label. King, that's kind of a cop-out, right? Like you couldn't find another title for Prince, where to put him in the pantheon of greats, and you just called him King of music.
I mean, I have to.
That's like Kershaw in the AllStar game.
I'm a little biased here as a Minnesotan, but Prince, that is a good answer.
The King of music.
If I had to give you a King of music.
King of pop is Michael, right? King of funk, that's George Clinton, and the Godfather of soul is James Brown.
Yeah, but
what do you call Prince?
Well,
the King of
Prince
music
was so good, so he could do everything, right?
Yeah,
like he's ridiculously one of the best guitar players of all time. He can play drums, he can sing, he can play the saxophone. Like he's just music. He's a musical genius. Can do anything. He obviously sings. So I guess that's a pretty good answer if I have to give you one.
It's interesting. Just weird stuff. I will send you this picture. I want to make it a T-shirt. If there was a poster, I'd put it on my wall.
I don't know if I had heard that before you said it, but it does.
Yeah,
it
came up and I kept it. I thought I was going to hang out with AK today, and I sent it to him.
Yeah.
Because he sent me a picture of Sade with a guitar, and I just fell in love all over again. Do you like Sade?
Sure.
Are you a Sade guy?
Sure.
Oh, my God. I saw her at the Gorge in Seattle, bro. It was raining. She had a white gown on, no shoes, and didn't move for one spot. She was only singing to me for 2 hours. It was awesome.
That's what it sounds like.
There was no one else there.
Sounds like a personal concert.
The 50,000 people that were behind me were not there. It was just so much fun. But I said this, I wrote this. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and I promise to raise my kids right. This is me after 3 days of celebrating the 4th of July. Super, super, super crazy. Just a couple different versions of it. So going to the beach on the actual 4th of July was a whole lot of fun. Not seeing the fireworks, forcing people to talk to each other was so much fun. And then the next day, going to a friend's house to where, like I said, it was a house of immigrant people and talking about their version of the 4th of July and everything. So this is what I've come up with. This is so crazy. You meet people, and some people like you'd want to dismiss right away because what we had and what we talked about and the growth that we had during that Saturday at the pool party was so much fun. Some people wouldn't even allow themselves to get in the room to experience that. So how are you supposed to know about people? know about where they come from. I'd rather hear it from you versus hearing it from somebody on Twitter or TV. So just that stuff. So like I said, this is my commitment. I can't change people, but there are some people out there that don't even get the courtesy of my eyesight, which means I'll just ignore you. But for the most part, I will do my best to raise my kids in a way where they know their history about them, about me, and that they would know the truth, and not to rely on somebody else's version of what their truth might be or his stories. So that was fun. It was awesome. And another thing, if there was some sort of candidate running for whatever, and they said it was going to be a 4-day work week, as in if we get Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off, you get my vote no matter what, because that was freaking awesome, that 3-day week. Anybody else have fun for the last 3 days?
Of course.
Did you?
100%, yeah.
I don't know that I can get behind the 4-day work week just in terms of thinking about the larger economy of the country. But it
I don't
does
care about
sound
that.
good.
I like 3 days off.
This sounds like this. You know what this sounds like? This is like running for student body president in high school and just being like, all right, vending machines free for everybody. All right, for all that. It's like everyone's going to vote for that, but how's it going to actually work out? I want 2 days.
I want to go to the beach on Friday, and I want a pool party on Saturday. I want the option and the recovery day on Sunday. That's got to be mandatory. I think we can be better for it.
Jorge, you think we can make this happen?
I mean, I like my 3 days off too, man. Come
on, I think we can do it. Come on, Monday's going to be fun.
It should be the same thing for the Super Bowl, right? Super Bowl Sunday, we should have the Monday off. Come on.
Thank you.
I have a lot of friends who work for companies that do 10-hour days. And then, so you have the 40 hours in 4 days. So you just work longer and have Fridays off. I have a friend that has that job here in LA with she works in public works and stuff. But
dude, that would work. I think we can do it.
I am a proponent of that.
Yeah.
So I have a non-traditional hours job, right? Like, and so thinking about specifically for the Lakers, I am kind of my peak work hours are like 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. Just because that's when games start. I'm watching them, and that's often when the Laker games are. And then, there are games on weekends, right? So so I'm kind of working sort of consistently.
Yeah.
But I'm not. I may have a 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. where I'm can take my kids to school and I can help my wife. I can do whatever. So that as long as here's the point. As long as you can get your job done productively, I don't really care what the hours are.
Right.
And so it depends on your employer and how, but you have to prove, obviously, that you can get the job done.
Yes.
And then if you can do that and give yourself a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all for it.
Whatever your work hours are for Friday, just give it to me Monday through Thursday. Tack it on and just give me the Friday, the Saturday, and the Sunday. You'll get a much better employee, much happier human being. So I think that's actually the right way to go. And we just ban all drive-thrus. Keep the fast food open. Just ban the drive-thru. Don't make it easy to get to.
Hold on. That?
Is this a typical DeMarco thing?
Is this your
just come up with this right
This
now?
is part of my platform. See,
I'm here.
Cancel all drive-thrus, right?
Man.
You can still get your burger. You just got to you got to park, get out of the car, walk and order it, walk back to the car.
I think you lost the population with that one. I think you had them on the 4-day work.
4 days, and we can be healthier.
I'd like to flesh this out. So what's the main reason for your drive-thru hate?
Just health. It's too easy to get to. You
Too
know
easy.
This. I told you, like on the way home from here, we live in the same general direction. I could take you to my car will drive me to every In-N-Out, to every McDonald's. I know where every 7-Eleven is. See what I mean? So if it's hard to get to or if it's easy to get to, I'm going to have it.
Just by the way,
7-Eleven isn't drive-thru,
That's
so
different.
you do have to park and walk into a 7-Eleven.
I will mob in there for a Slurpee. That's a different deal.
Okay,
yeah,
that was my next question. You go to a 7-Eleven in there and you can get one thing.
Yeah.
What is it?
Slurpee.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'll go one lap around the parking lot. If it's too hard to get in, go to the next one.
There are different flavor Slurpees at every 7-Eleven.
Yes.
I found. What's your favorite?
I don't go.
Coca-Cola, frozen Coke.
Are you frozen Coke guy?
Solid.
So good.
I mean, the classic is, of course, it's just like the wild cherry with a little taste of blue raspberry in the middle.
That's my go-to
That's
forever.
The classic.
But I go half and half.
I do like. You know what's good? I had a pina colada one recently.
What'd you think?
It's very, very strong.
Yeah.
Very strong.
Weird.
But if I got to get one thing at a 7-Eleven, though, I'm getting Nerds gummy clusters. That's what I'm
Those are bomb, by the way.
Nerds
Okay,
gummy
now add
clusters?
those to your Slurpee, bro. Like,
whoa, in the Slurpee?
Yep.
No,
See, now
you're
you're
ruining
you
my
lost Marco
platform.
again.
You're ruining the platform here. Wait, what's a nerd gummy cluster? What is that?
It's literally like a
gummy with nerds around it.
It's like a little like a tasty gummy, but then
all
the nerds are stuck
so
to the
it cracks,
outside.
So you got it's hard and then soft at the same time.
Exactly.
Did you ever have a nerd rope before?
What's a nerd rope?
It's the same thing.
Yeah,
it's
same
just
concept.
Not in a rope form. It's in nugget form, basically.
I'm telling you, as a lifelong candy connoisseur, Nerds gummy clusters are my favorite.
Okay, I never got into the Nerds.
Yeah, I'm having those a lot lately.
Can we figure out the rest of this DeMarco Farr platform, like the non-political side of a DeMarco Farr platform?
I got some ideas.
No drive-thrus.
I'm telling you, I know we can do this.
Any sports things you want to put into this platform? Like,
yes.
Like what do you want to get rid of?
Said this for years
some
in
reviews
football.
Or something.
The NFL should do an eras week. Like this week, we're playing by 70s rules. Right. Let's start. Let's have some fun. So quarterbacks, look out. Receivers across the middle.
I'm not sure you're going to get
look
a lot
out.
of
Do you think the Chiefs would want that? You know, Mahomes is out for the rest of the season.
Of course, that's why it won't happen. But that's what I'd love to happen.
So you want to bring Jacked Up back? Is basically what you're
for 1 week. It'd be fun. It'd be themed week. Yes, 70s.
And you know who'd start for the Chiefs? It'd be Carson Wentz.
There you go.
Oh, no.
Celebrating the 80s. You know that stuff. Yes.
You started off with something that it's hard to argue against, unless you want to get technical and how it would destroy the economy.
You can vote that part
and now you're just bringing stuff in that
you asked me sports. I told you.
So you
basketball,
really want to see?
If it was basketball, I'd eliminate the 3-pointer.
What?
That's what I'm saying. I want to go back to old school. Let's go back to the 80s and let's hack people.
All right, I need some time. I need some time to recover from the getting rid of the 3-pointer. Even getting rid of the corner three is a ridiculous idea that would destroy the game. Now you just want to get rid of threes altogether.
You asked. This is my platform.
The only thing I will say to bring one baseball thing into this before we go to break. I wish that we had more of the kind of game within the game stuff in baseball, and less just home runs, strikeouts, and walks. And so more steals.
More strategy.
Just more. But now that we've kind of gone so far into the analytics,
get rid of the DH.
Maybe we could put that into your platform.
Yes.
One more thing before we go to break. Apparently, in San Luis Obispo, they do not have drive-thrus. Dude and Slow just said there are no drive-thrus, and I don't want to move to San Luis Obispo.
And I bet they're healthy.
A drive-thru.
I bet they all are in shape.
Well, all right.
They're living until they're 140.
I will say that at In-N-Out, I typically don't do the drive-through because
it's too long.
Because it takes longer. Yeah, if you get out, you can go right up and order it, and you can get back in your car. Now, the question is that 4 minutes that it takes to get out and to walk in, does that add up to the total time that you might be waiting in the drive-through? These are topics that we'll explore later in the show. But DeMarco, thank you very much.
Welcome.
All right,
more to come.
I have a couple of. I know the NFL is still a bit away, but I am starting to get excited. And I have something off the top that I want to get your take on.
Let's go.
So we're getting into the NFL coming up next. It's Mike Trudell in for Travis and DeMarco.
The OGs of LA Sports Radio.
That's Mason in Ireland.
Crazy. I was stupid and young and reckless. Stupid, young, and reckless. It's great to be that way
to me.
at some point, yeah.
Mason in Ireland, weekdays at noon.
On 710 ESPN.
Do you really think you've experienced real sports excitement in your home? It's Mace here, and I'm here to tell you to get off your couch and get into Cosm. Cosm is the ultimate immersive fan experience. The Dome at Cosm, massive 87-foot wraparound display with reserved booth-style seating. The Cosm Hall features wall-to-wall screens where you can watch multiple games at the same time. Incredible food, craft cocktails, beer available throughout Cosm. Go to Cosm.com to see all the sporting events coming up, and now showing The Matrix at Cosm.com.
Ignite your afternoons at Waba Grill's $5 happy hour with our 5-piece pork veggie dumplings and a value-sized premium one beverage drink, like our zesty dragon fruit mango lemonade. Enjoy $5 happy hour weekdays after 3 p.m. Only at Waba Grill.
Cappy here to tell you about my great friends at Ocean Subaru of Fullerton. I'm a huge fan for so many reasons. The safety, technology, versatility, reliability, and they're all about the Subaru Love Promise. The cars are spacious and sporty. You got to go see my boy Omar and his team at Ocean Subaru of Fullerton. They're focused on your needs, and they're the most knowledgeable people when it comes to getting you into the right Subaru. Ocean Subaru, 1100 South Euclid in Fullerton, just off the 91 freeway. Go to OceanSubaruOC.com. That's OceanSubaruOC.com. Ocean Subaru of Fullerton, where every journey starts with love.
Hey Rams fans, it's your quarterback Matthew Stafford here. Join me for Walk United LA at the Rose Bowl Stadium on July 20th. Participants can walk or run to support fire recovery efforts and our most vulnerable LA communities. Learn more at walkunitedla.org. See you there.
You never have to miss a moment of LA's mega sports station. Get the all-new ESPN LA app.
Just search ESPN LA in your App Store or Google Play.
Download, tap, and bam!
You got 710 ESPN in the palm of your hand. 710 ESPN, your home for the 17-time world champion Lakers.
KSPN Los Angeles, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
This is the Travis and DeMarco Show.
Now weekdays 9 a.m. to noon on LA's mega sports station.
710 ESPN.
There has been a Bruce Lee documentary going on this TV the whole time we've been on the air.
Is that why you've been so distracted?
Very distracted, yes.
All right. Mike Trudell in for Travis Rogers today alongside DeMarco Farr.
Yes.
And I came upon an article, actually Emily sent it to us, about the top 10 running backs for 2025. And I'm at the point like, so when the NBA Finals ends, right?
Yep.
That's when I first start to sort of just entertain the thought of football coming back into my life.
Your brain starts to change.
You know, maybe I start to think about, all right, well, what pick am I going to get in my fantasy draft? Is it going to be a quarterback's early year this year?
Are you a fantasy guy?
Of course. Yeah.
Oh, okay, just checking. Yeah, everybody's fantasy, right?
I think that's one of the main things driving the
It's like having
the
a cell
NFL
phone
craze.
now.
Yeah,
Everybody's got a fantasy
my
team.
my 10-year-old kids have both been playing fantasy football for 2 years now.
So wild.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is your fantasy team, Trudell, from high school, from college, like multiple teams? How many different fantasy teams do you have?
Oh man. So for football, I've got 4 leagues.
And leagues.
One is college friends. One is with my family, like including the twins. One is like a neighborhood league.
I like that.
And then another is like a high school league that I've been
I
doing
used to
forever.
be resistant, but by all means, keep doing it. Keep
So
consuming the product.
And so
thank you.
as this is, I'm starting to get into this entry. We saw the NFL's top 10 running backs for 2025, and this running back discussion, DeMarco, it's kind of devolved in a way over the last several years to the point where now what you hear more often than anything else is just get whoever to kind of fill into the spot. So I wanted to
something close.
Can you walk me through like from your career to where we are now, and then we'll get to some of what the top 10 backs are.
Okay, well that's funny about the era 70s, 80s, into the 90s. The running back was probably your most important guy. I think Barry Sanders, Emmitt Smith, Walter Payton, Jim Brown, the greatest running backs. That
like when I was growing up, I asked my dad, "Hey, who's the best player?" And he'd be like, "Well, Jim Brown."
Jim Brown.
Like, Jim Brown was the answer.
Running football, feet, running the football was considered the main weapon. It still is. If you look at every offense, no matter who they are, they're still running the football. It's just a little bit different. So lead backs, bell cow backs, that's kind of gone away because of paychecks. Quarterback money has gone up. Receiver money has gone up. Defensive end money has gone up. The money has gone up. You got to take it from someplace. So probably you don't pay your inside linebacker. You don't play your running back. I can get just about anybody to fill those spots. Or I could fill it with manpower. Running back by committee. I could have a starting job up for grabs on my defense all year long and still have a top 10 defense. That's just the way it goes. They've been devalued. So I'd always say this. If you have a special guy, and I think I could probably predict your top 10, but if you got somebody like Saquon Barkley, by all means feed that. If you've got Derrick Henry and he's in his prime, by all means feed that. I don't mean I don't want one of these guys. The easiest way to win is to have one of these dudes, but it's not so important or imperative to have a top 10 running back to be a successful offense, if that makes sense.
Okay, it does. But are you saying, so you mentioned the history of the game and how it was more grounded pound early. Is it so the evolution of the passing game, and is it the evolution of systems of quarterbacks? Is the just
systems,
thinking the game, all of it?
Systems, quarterbacks, rules.
Yeah.
They created the Autobahn down the middle of the field now. You just can't hit guys. And in the pocket, quarterbacks can play until they're 50 now because you can't hit them anymore. They've legislated that out of the game.
Okay.
It's been better. Like you said, everybody's playing fantasy football. It's awesome. You want your quarterbacks upright and healthy. The game has changed a little bit. So it's wide open now. So the running game is kind of, I wouldn't say secondary, but throwing the ball is more important now to winning football games. But like I said, if you have one of these special Jonathan Taylor types, you hand him the football and get the hell out of the way and let him do his thing.
All right, let's get to some of these running backs. Here's the honorable mentions. All right, so these are outside of the top 10, and this is ESPN surveyed, league executives, coaches, etc. All right, so we've got James Conner, Breece Hall, Devon Achane, Aaron Jones Sr., and Bucky Irving, all outside of the top 10. Therefore, DeMarco, you're
Conner is underrated.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you 10. I'm gonna give you 6 through 10, and then if you think any of those guys mentioned are better, let me know.
6 through 10. Go ahead.
All right. So 10 is Alvin Kamara, 9 Joe Mixon, 8 James Cook, 7 Jonathan Taylor, and 6 Josh Jacobs.
What's the question?
So basically, any of the guys on the honorable mention list. So Irving, Jones Sr., Achane, Hall, Conner.
Achane is super fast.
Any of those guys you like more than the 6 through 10 there?
Yeah. Achane is super fast. That's Mix. I mean, how long can Mix keep going, Joe Mixon? And I do like Alvin Kamara. I still think he's the ultimate weapon in football because he can catch it and run it. And he's tougher than – no, I still like that 6 through 10.
So Kamara had he had this great start. Then he slipped just a bit, and then he had the comeback season last year.
Okay, so some of this on offense, especially when you are the pass catcher or the running back, some of this is quarterback dependent. Like, for instance, Terry McLaurin from the Commanders is upset. He's not at camp. He wants more money. 4 or 5 straight 1,000-yard seasons, right? I mean, just barely over 1,000. Does not look sexy when you look at it. But then you look at who's been thrown to him. It's been like 7 guys. And he's only had one 1,000-yard rusher. So that affects your numbers. Same with Alvin Kamara. I think they've been kind of held hostage by their quarterback position. But when they give him the rock on screens, when they give it to him on inside gives or outside tosses, the guy is a problem. He can make you miss and he can go. He's still that dude.
The Saints will be very interesting because their quarterback group is not really a quarterback. I guess their starter might be Spencer Rattler.
Yeah.
But they did just get Kellen Moore, who has been up and down in places that he's been. So I don't know if that's going to be necessarily helpful for Kamara or hurtful because maybe they'll just run him more if their quarterback is bad.
Is so interesting to me because at one point when he was in college, he was considered a first-day guy. And then it just kind of went downhill. And part of it was because of his attitude, whatever it was. But clearly,
he got benched by Lincoln Riley.
Clearly he can play. He's a pro. He's going to be the starter. So let's see if he's still the starter by December. If he is, I would bet New Orleans is doing pretty well. But I guess if he starts to struggle and they're not willing, he hasn't earned enough equity there, they will yank him in a heartbeat and say, you're not the guy.
All right, so the question is now, these top 5, the running backs that are remaining, how many of them are are breaking the chain of what you just described as the running back by committee being enough relative to if you have one of these guys? And so number 5, who has slipped from last year, is Christian McCaffrey. I think the reason he slipped is just because he got hurt again.
See, I think that's just love.
Injury prone, and is clearly when he's on the field and healthy, he's awesome. You can do anything. You can pound through the middle. You can throw to him.
Everything.
He can bust it. Yeah, he's good at everything.
He changed everything when he came to San Fran. Everything in the NFL changed.
So do you think he's then one of the guys that you break the bank for?
Okay, now here's the thing, right? You see a lot of guys, I don't know, what's the most catastrophic injury in basketball?
Probably still Achilles.
Achilles and knee.
Yeah, ACL, Achilles, but it's close. ACL, Achilles.
You never know how these guys
minus some freak broken leg thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Achilles, good one. Even one, you're not sure how the guy's going to come back, and sometimes they're different when they come back.
Yeah.
This is his second. This is CMC's second deal, right? So he's coming at his best. Okay, I misspoke. I shouldn't have said he's the top weapon in the game. Talking about Kamara.
Yeah.
For the same reason, it's Christian McCaffrey. If he's at his best, San Francisco's near the top of the NFC, no doubt, because he can run and catch. But I'm not sure. Is anybody positive about what he's going to look like when he comes back on his second Achilles?
No.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So to put him as top 5 is kind of like, really?
I mean,
he was an MVP candidate when he's healthy, but the years in which he's healthy are rarer than the years that he's not. That's why the Panthers were willing to trade him. He's someone you could build your entire team around if you're the Panthers.
Heck yeah.
They traded him to the 49ers, and the 49ers got lucky. The 49ers got lucky the first year and a half that they had him were his healthy seasons, and It's just coming to roost.
That's a bad man when he's on the field.
He didn't tear his Achilles though, didn't he just have? It was kind of like Achilles tendonitis, and then he had like a PCL sprain.
Something, yes.
But it wasn't. It's
another lower leg.
But I do remember this though.
Yeah.
I was not going to be the one that took him in like with my first or second pick in fantasy last year. And that was partly all because he came in with a strain or whatever, and it was unclear, and then he ends up not playing several games. So the guys
if I had a fantasy team and took a flyer on him, I'd be very happy because he made.
There's always a spot. Yeah, there's always a spot that you take him, but I was so now the guys above him don't have these same injury risk. Okay, so Bijan Robinson.
Oh my God.
Jahmyr Gibbs, Derrick Henry, and Saquon Barkley.
Okay,
so these are all backs that have not had the major injury, and you can kind of feel pretty confident and reliable.
This is a direct line to Raheem Morris right now. Ra, if you're listening, if you want to remain coach of the Falcons for more than 5 years, give this man the ball. I don't know why you don't. Why do we overthink football? Football is not that complicated. People complicated. Bijan Robinson should be at the top of this list. He's got that sort of talent.
Okay.
And he's young. And he's still getting better. That's what I'm saying. So, good. I'm glad he's on that list.
So, okay, this kind of goes – it's not contrary to your larger point about running backs, but you're saying that if a player is special enough, in this case like Bijan Robinson,
yes,
then you tilt the offense more
Emily, you've
around
heard me
that
say
player.
this. I don't like paying running backs, but I will pay special in a heartbeat.
Okay.
And when you've got one, you know you've got it.
Would you put Jahmyr Gibbs in that same class?
That's weird. That's the same as Jared Goff. I mean, they're a good offense. They've got some great pieces. Let's say if Detroit had a fire sale, I'd be first in line. And I wouldn't mind which player I got, including him. Running back, wide receiver, offensive line, definitely. Even for quarterback. Tight end, I'd be in the market. They've done a great job of building that team. I think he's a part of that offense. And I think by committee, if he's one of your guys and not the guy, he can be special for you.
He's a pretty special player.
Yeah.
It's the David Montgomery and the Jahmyr Gibbs together, too. It's like a
Thunder
Thunder
and
and Lightning. And I think on my fantasy team, I had Gibbs, but it's like if you took Montgomery, he's going to get touchdowns for you. They're both really great backs.
What's old boy's name in Washington? Oh, my God. He's another guy. He's a great piece of a backfield, but he cannot do it alone.
The other Robinson?
Michael Robinson?
No.
I'll look it up, but go ahead.
So I know Austin Eckler's there, but there's Brian Robinson Jr. Are the running backs.
Yes.
Yeah,
so the other guys on the list obviously are Saquon, Derrick Henry, and is there anyone else?
No, Saquon's one and Henry's two.
Yes.
I just want to say with Gibbs though, yes, Montgomery was really good as well, but when Montgomery was out and he ended up being out like as the playoffs went on, Gibbs he still was able to get his even while a bunch of the handoffs were going to Montgomery.
No doubt.
So he to me is in that special category, and you kind of flip-flop with Robinson. You take your pick. I like both of them. And then you have Henry. We all know about Henry. He's been dominating forever. And then Saquon had one of the best running back seasons in recent memory last year.
And took it to the
Brian
Rams.
Robinson from the Commanders. Remember that guy?
Yes.
A big dude. Good screen guy. Can run it a little bit. If you had another hammer, that backfield is almost unstoppable. But by himself, Same as the guy in Chicago, Swift. Mm-hmm. I think he is really, really good, but not a guy that would carry you for an entire season. Not like Saquon, not like Derrick Henry. But if he's part of a committee, even if he gets the lion's share of the carries, that dude is a problem on game day, definitely.
So this whole list, both the 10 and the honorable mentions, none of them mentioned Kyren Williams, who is the Rams running back, who is the running back that they're hoping to be their number one going into the season, but they're still in the contract negotiation. So Kyren Williams isn't this quote-unquote special, isn't this top 5 running back special, but he really makes a huge difference on whether this team runs or not.
Yeah, man, he's a bowler.
Hey, do me a favor. Hold that thought.
Okay.
Hold that thought on Kyren. We're going to get into that coming up. All right, get ready. This Friday, July 11th at the West Covina Sportsplex. Don't miss your chance to press the flesh with us all day long, starting at 9 a.m. Don't miss Live Art by Dave Hobrecht, a sports memorabilia scavenger hunt, a chance to meet sports legend Pedro Guerrero, and get ready to swing big at our first ever Legends launch event. All are at the West Covina Sportsplex. That's 2100 South Azusa Avenue in West Covina. Be sure to bring your coolers and lawn chairs for AllStar Friday night, made possible by our friends at Legends Attic, the ultimate sports fans' dream destination. All right, so is Kyren worth it? That and more coming up next on Travis and DeMarco.
The fun way to drive home is with Sedano and Cap.
Coming up today at 3 p.m.
What? You got to do a cat-cow. You know how to do that? A cat-cow stretch.
A what?
A cat-cow.
What is a cat-cow?
You get on your fours and then
show them. Go in there and show them.
I can't. All right.
Let me see it. I think I know what you're talking about. I do it every day. But I didn't know it's called a cat-cow.
Cat-cow.
Well, get in front of the camera, guy.
You got to get on your fours and do this, and then you got to do that.
Yeah, I do that every day. I do that every day. I do cat-cow. Cat-cow. Moo. Meow. Moo, meow.
I'm here.
Namaste. I just Googled image cat-cow and yeah.
Cat-cow. Is it different than downward dog?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, cat-cow is not downward dog.
Yeah.
One's a moo meow and the other one's a rrr, rrr, rrr.
Sedano and Cap on 710. The fun way to drive home.
Sedano and Cap.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. Flashy discounts, gimmicky sales? Don't fall for it. At Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, we give you honest, wholesale pricing all year long. No bogus markups, no tricks, just the best floors at the best prices. Call 866-62-FLOOR. No sale beats wholesale. Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, check them out at hernandezwholesaleflooring.net or call them at 866-62-FLOOR.
For the best prices on hardwood carpet and more, call 866-62-FLOOR.
USC football is more than a game. It's tradition, pride, and unforgettable Saturdays in the Coliseum. Be there for every kickoff, every touchdown, and every unforgettable moment this season. Secure your football season tickets today and lock in the best seats, exclusive fan benefits, and memories that last a lifetime. Don't miss out. We need you in the stands. Visit USCTrojans.com or call 213-740-GO-SC.
Introducing the new Dell AI PC, powered by the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps do your busy work for you, so you can fast forward through editing images, designing presentations, generating code, debugging code, summarizing meeting notes, finding files, managing your schedule, responding to Jim's long emails, leaving all the time in the world for the things you actually want to do. No offense, Jim. Get a new Dell AI PC starting at $699.99 at Dell.com/AI-PC. How those ahead stay ahead.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
And yes, welcome to the Travis and DeMarco Show. Now mornings, 9 a.m. to noon on 710 ESPN, your destination for LA sports. Let's get back to the fellas. The Travis and DeMarco Show continues right now.
Where were you when this came out?
High school.
High school, okay. This was the college jam.
Yeah.
We are going out tonight. Get in the Sentra and let's go.
That's right. I was like late. This is mid-90s. I was late middle school, early high school.
Yeah.
And we had a gentleman in here from Bonita High School, and I was like, you've probably been asked this before. It's probably an annoying question, but have you heard of Bonita Applebaum? And
first he said he didn't.
Well, this young man was probably born in like 2007 or something. So
you don't have to lie to kick it. He said he didn't. So this is the song. It's awesome. I have a question. How many years you been married?
It'll be 12 in August.
Do you
and
know,
actually, I wasn't in high school. I was in like late elementary school because Bonita Applebaum was because that was actually 1990. I was thinking it was more like 94. But
do you follow his wife on Instagram too, just like Cappy does?
Well,
Cappy follows your wife.
Yeah, it was a whole thing. It wasn't disrespectful in the way that, but I kind of I played it up to be a little while just to make him feel badly for a full show.
Yeah.
But yes, so we got married in 2013.
So what anniversary is that? And there's no way. No, you're not following my wife on Instagram, bro. No, it's not happening.
Yeah.
It's not happening. We'd have to have a talk. But what anniversary is that? 12.
Yeah.
Do you know what that is? Okay,
No,
so my brother has been married 11. He said it was the steel anniversary.
Oh no, I don't know all that. You tell me.
What gift can you give that's steel?
So 12th anniversary is apparently silk.
Silk.
That's kind of an easy one. You can
Silk
get
is
silk
easy.
stuff.
Yeah.
Steel
Yes.
might be like a paperweight or?
That's not going to work with my sister.
I don't know.
Yeah.
A car?
A paperweight.
That's the first thing I thought. It's like steel mean car?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, like, what do you get for steel? I had no idea. It's like car is the only thing that comes up. You can't. There's no steel jewelry,
I mean,
right?
Here's the thing that steel is. I feel like steel's in more stuff than you think.
Okay, I'm seeing
You
like
know?
watches.
A
I'm
steel
seeing
watch.
Different kinds of purses. You can have steel elements of these. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Or firearm, maybe steel.
Well, wait.
That's,
What, 'cause
That would be
that's
quite
a
a
definite
weird
no. No.
I mean, I guess technically, if that's your thing,
Steel?
that won't be in my family. Why? What are you shopping for an anniversary gift at the moment?
I'm not sure what mine is. My brother brought it up. He said it's.
Well, what? Let's dig into this. What year is coming up for you?
I have no idea. Let me count. Since 2010.
CTE is real. See?
Well,
okay. Also,
No, I don't know what
So
the anniversaries are.
15 sounds like 15.
15. So what would 15 be?
all right, I'm finding 15 for you.
Yeah,
By the way,
Emily's
steel
on
can
it.
be like a nice those place like those serving plates can be steel.
Oh.
Candelabras can
Again,
be steel.
not my sister.
Look, man, steel's in a
If
lot
you
of
give
stuff.
her a steel
So
plate, that
15
might be an issue.
15
Yes.
is crystal.
Crystal. Okay.
Crystal
I
is
can do that.
relatively easy.
Crystal's easy.
Yeah,
Steel,
easier.
I don't know. I'm glad I passed steel.
What? Okay, what would be a good crystal gift though?
Crystal meth. I'm just playing.
Whoa!
Really?
Damn.
Did you go there? Dump that.
That's a different. You don't have to dump that.
And 2 minutes in the box for Jorge.
Dining wear. You can get her nice dining wear for Crystal.
Dining
You can
wear?
Get her
Okay.
jewelry for Crystal.
Wow.
Not what Jorge said.
Did you say that?
You know, to each their own, I guess.
Yes. Wow. Okay. What were we talking? Oh, Kyron. We were talking about Kyron. I'm sorry.
So we brought up the list of the top 10 running backs, and one of the ones not mentioned, even though Kyron Williams has had an impressive start to his career, not in that conversation. But you can make the argument that he should be in the honorable mention. So I wondered,
Go ahead.
where does he fit for you? Where does he fit in the scale of just a guy, more than a guy?
This is funny.
How much can we pay? How much should he be
you
worth?
Can,
all
you
that.
can make the argument for him being in the top 10. Go ahead. I'd love to hear
Well,
it.
no, not in the top 10, but I'm saying at least the argument for him to be in the honorable mentions.
Okay,
which was like top, 16.
I
Essentially.
think he should have been at least in the honorable mentions.
Yeah.
He finished 7th in rushing. Almost 1,300, 1,299, 4.1 yards a carry.
Mm-hmm.
He scored 14 times. At least you should have put his name on the list. That to me is a snub.
Okay.
Honorable mention.
I put him above Brees Hall. I think he's more influential in their winning for the Rams, a team that went to deep into the playoffs.
Talk about a fantasy bust, Emily. Everybody taking Brees Hall like
Injuries,
second
right?
or third.
He gets banged up a lot.
He just ended up not being as kind of explosive as we all thought.
You might take the name guy there, and the name here is actually Sean McVay. He's the face of the offense. So you may say Kyron's success is just a product of McVay's genius.
That's what I'm asking you.
You may get the knock. You may get the knock that way. But I mean, even Sean McVay would tell you that's not true.
Okay.
But if that's
Kyron is a really good running back. He's got great vision. Now, the one thing he does not have is breakaway speed. That's what seems to bother people. His longest rush was 30 yards. So he's not very explosive. And I'll say this. How many times did he put it on the deck last year? 6, and it seemed like he had a rash of them for a month.
Yeah, felt like it was every time he got the ball.
That killed him. That you can't do, no matter what you do, or at least – let's say if you were running for damn near 800 and scored 20 rushing touchdowns, they may forgive you. But putting the ball on the ground 6 times and killing you in games like versus Philadelphia when you just killed momentum, that would kill you on anybody's list. And it's deserved. So he knows that.
But I think the thing is that we didn't see enough of Blake Corum last year.
We didn't see much of Blake Corum.
If Kyron Williams was putting on the deck as much as he was, and Sean McVay is that talented of a coach, wouldn't he be able to put in Blake Corum in there and make it work?
So that's a funny thing because it was actually happening, and it was happening organically. There was a time when you were about to, and I think it might have been during Kyron's fumbleitis bout there. There was a time when it seemed like the team was getting ready to turn it over to Blake Corum. The problem is he broke his arm on like his 3rd or 4th carry, and he's out. And then Kyron straightened himself out. He got the message. He understood and came back and finished the season strong and kept possession of the football. He was really good down the stretch. But at one point, yes, Blake Corum was about to be the guy. He just had that arm injury. He ran out of bounds, and he gave it to the corner or the safety that hit him. It was a great hit. He just broke his arm.
So do we see Kyren, sign a new deal before the season starts, or do the Rams want to wait and see one more year?
I don't want to run him out of the building. I don't think anybody wants to run him out of the building. You want him to have better ball security, but economics will take over. And if you think, and this is the funny thing, agents are always, well, you know this, agents are insane. All they're going to do is pitch your numbers. And what it says is, if you look at the stats, Kyren Williams is the 7th best running back in the National Football League. So we want something close to what, or approximate to what these guys are being paid. And that's going to be the problem. I think I'm worth $10 million a year. Mm-hmm. Really? Okay, Blake, get ready. If you want to take a team-friendly deal and just make it even, I'm sure they would let Kyren play football. He would be your running back going into the future. But he's gonna try to get everything he can from his career, and he should do that. But that might mean they turn the rock over to the next guy, which could be Ray Corum.
So it sounds like what you're saying is that the skill set that he has, like good player, but not something that you're gonna be too persuaded to go overboard.
No,
on.
wait. So same with James Cook. James Cook is trying to get paid in Buffalo, and he's at a stalemate, and he's a really good running back.
Yeah,
we'll just.
I think
wait
he
and
was
see.
8th on that list that we gave. Yeah,
or just. We'll wait and see if you can prove it again. Same with Kyren. You haven't shown a propensity to be explosive. Well, I hope you train for that, because the way to erase that is be more explosive. Well, I think you have a fumble problem. The way to cure that is don't put the ball on the ground, and then you get the money you deserve down the stretch. So it's all on him. Either way, it's good for us. My favorite thing on a football team is a pissed off running back or a disrespected one, because he's going to prove you wrong, which means, great, we win. So I hope Kyron's in that same vein. If not, look out for Blake Corum.
So we didn't get to watch much of Blake Corum last year. We did see a lot of him at Michigan.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of tape on him. Where how good do you think he could be? What is the upside
here's
for
the
Blake
thing,
Corum?
man. I mean, when you watch him, it seems like they had 3 of the same guy. Kyren, Blake Corum, and Ronnie Rivers all look the same. Short, squatty, big bubble guys. You were hoping for more explosion. Now, maybe with more carries, Blake Corum could have shown you something. Break a few, make somebody miss, get down the sideline, score from 50 yards out. But like I said, he broke his arm. So I don't know yet. Maybe the Hunter kid, I know McVay really wanted him in the draft. He seems to be more explosive. That could be your guy. But I know this. Sean McVay is looking for more explosion out of the backfield.
Okay.
Now, hopefully Kyren can do it, because I like the guy. If it's Blake Corum, it's Corum. But somebody has got to take a short one and turn it into a long one and make it easy for your offense and Matthew Stafford.
The best version of the Rams offense has been with a great running back like Todd Gurley. When they had Todd Gurley on this team, they were unstoppable on their offense.
I believe it.
And they haven't had it since he's left the team.
I believe so. Any offense that has a threat in the backfield is going to draw eyes. And if you have a coordinator or a play caller worth his salt, he's going to take advantage of that. I'll give you, for instance, when Marshawn Lynch is in Seattle, right? When he's on the field, you're going to have at least 9 guys watching him to make sure you're in run support.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're smart, take advantage. Play action, you'll get somebody open. It's going to be man coverage. McVay is a master of that, but you have to give him help. You have to be a credible threat, not just an afterthought. They have to buy the fact that the Rams can beat you running the football.
Are you ready for some football, Jorge? Yeah.
He's a Niners fan. We don't talk to him about football.
We hope he's not ready for some
Are you
football.
a Vikings fan?
Of course.
Let me ask you.
Yeah.
Good. This is fun. What did you think of Sam Darnold?
I appreciated what Sam Darnold did. I was not willing to break the bank in the way that he wanted, and therefore was okay with him moving on. And I'm like, we got to see what we have in J.J. McCarthy. All right, you trade up to take a kid that high in the first round. You can't then pay a Sam Darnold $100 million or whatever it looked like it was going to take to get him. So I'm kind of sink or swim with McCarthy, and that is a nervous feeling, especially coming into a team that is otherwise pretty good. So I feel like that's the only way you can do it.
Kind of the same thing. Turning it over to Corum. It's like, okay, are you just because you're out on Kyren Williams and you want Corum to do it? Be careful, because we're not sure yet.
Yeah.
Same with Sam.
Yeah.
How do you think he's going to do in Seattle?
I think he's good, not great. Like once you bring a certain amount of pressure, that's when the problems start.
Yes.
And so if you've got a great situation, a great line, and like he can get the ball out of his hands quickly, he's got a great arm. But I worry similarly to how I worried about Kirk Cousins and still would. Like that type of quarterback to me can't get you over the top in a playoff game. because you're always going to get the better defenses and you're going to get the pressure, and you've got to have the guys that can either stand in and make a play or can scramble out. And I just don't want a quarterback that's in the middle there.
I got you.
You know?
Yeah, man.
And that's where I feel like he is.
He's such a good dude that you kind of root for him, and I wish you can coach out the freak out in him.
Yeah.
Because every now and then when it gets tight and the defenses get better, he seems like he just absolutely falls to pieces.
Yeah.
It was a shame. Like, to play that well up until this point and then fall completely off a cliff and take the Vikings with you was a damn shame. So
no doubt.
I don't know what Seattle's doing. I think they were dumb. Really, you let go of a solid quarterback to sign a guy to an even bigger deal that no one is sure of.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
It doesn't make any sense at all. And then you purge everyone, and then it didn't make sense.
Yeah, you know. By the way, later in the show, speaking of Seattle, Pete Carroll is in Vegas now, so I'm curious to hear your take on that. But not before we do Fact or Cap. That's coming up next on Travis and DeMarco on 710 ESPN. I'm
Mason and Ireland.
Can you do a cartwheel, John, if you were pressed?
I used to be able to, but I haven't done it in so long.
I've not done a cartwheel in a really long time. I'm sure I can.
The biggest show on the radio, weekdays at noon.
On 710 ESPN.
Progressive knows when you're on your boat, you're already on vacation. And Vacation You forgets all your worries. Vacation You doesn't even keep track of time and knows that time is a meaningless construct designed to control us, man. But Regular You knows you don't want to be too far out in the water after the sun goes down because Vacation You doesn't know how to navigate in the dark yet. Vacation You and Regular You really need to get on the same page. So bundle your boat with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. Mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
Beat the heat this summer with NextGen, the official AC plumbing and electrical company of SoCal sports fans. If your AC breaks down, don't hesitate. Call NextGen now and enjoy expert installation on any new system. For a limited time, combat SoCal's air quality and reduce dust in your home with a free no-ozone air purifier included with any new AC system install. Call 833-3NEXTGEN or visit nextgenairandplumbing.com to book online. CSLB number 1011173, lifetime warranty on selected items.
With Progressive customer service, there are lots of ways to connect with us, so you never have to miss a second of your favorite sport. Because you'd much rather watch a ball go through a net 124 times in 48 minutes when you don't really have to pay attention until the last two, and then somehow those 2 minutes will take an hour. You don't want to miss all of that. Luckily, you can chat with Progressive on our app, online, or over the phone without missing a single one of those times the ball goes through the metal circle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
A SoFi personal loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible, overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right. Pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi personal loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
Here we go. It is Factor Cap time. Factor Cap on the Travis and DeMarco Show. Each weekday around 10:30, producer Emily serves up what's going down, and fun and frivolity ensues. Special thanks to the law offices of Joseph S. Normand for making Factor Cap possible.
It's Joseph S. Normand. It's Factor Cap on the Travis and DeMarco Show on 710 ESPN. And if you've been hurt in an accident, let me help you. Call my office at 213-747-2000. That's 213-747-2000.
Let's do it. Factor Cap right now.
Take it away, producer Emily.
Welcome to Factor Cap.
Thanks, Joe. Hi, guys.
Oh, hi.
Hody.
What up?
There you go.
Just to give you a little Wimbledon update, we now are down to 3 Americans left in Wimbledon. We have Emma Navarro just lost, so she will not be continuing on. But we have Ben Shelton playing right now. And then we also have Taylor Fritz for the men playing later. And The last woman, I don't know how to pronounce her name, but there's one more woman left for
Come on,
the
Americans.
US. Yeah, come on, guys.
Come on, get it done.
So over the weekend, we know that every 4th of July, there is the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest, and Joey Chestnut beats everybody by 1 billion hot dogs. This weekend, he had 70 and a half hot dogs he took down, which is just disgusting. But a internet discussion has happened around this scenario. All right? The scenario is a 100-meter dash between Usain Bolt and Joey Chestnut, but you have to eat a hot dog first. Okay? Before you go, you have to consume an entire hot dog and then race 100 meters. And who would win in that scenario? Okay? So, Joey Chestnut would beat Usain Bolt in a 100-meter dash if they had to both consume a hot dog first. Fact is Joey Chestnut, cap is Usain Bolt. Trudeau?
Cap. I just don't know. There's almost no circumstance I can think of that I'm gonna pick. Well, I shouldn't say there's nothing I can think of, but I'm gonna go with Usain Bolt. Like, he's a big guy.
Yeah.
I think he can handle a hot dog. And even if Joey gets it done like 2 seconds before, or 3 seconds before, there's no, like, Joey Chestnut's 100-yard dash time to me is probably like, I don't know, 15 seconds or something like that.
That's being generous.
That's the average person can run a 100-meter dash in 15 seconds. And he consumes hot dogs at a rate of about a second a hot dog.
Well, I'm okay. So you're saying you're thinking he's closer to like 16 or 17 seconds.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
On the long side.
So basically, is there a 6-second gap though in how long it's going to take Usain? This is actually a better question than I thought at first, because at first I was like, no way. I'm going to go with Usain Bolt, but I'm curious what you think.
I'm going to take Bolt in any speed competition.
It's not just speed, it's eating.
But there's the thing, though. But he's got to swallow the full hot. Like, I'm thinking, how long does it take me to eat a full hot dog?
Well, I know those track dudes can eat, so he's not a professional eater, but I'm sure he can eat. And throw it down and then get going.
6 seconds? You think he can eat a hot dog in 6 seconds?
I'm sure Usain Bolt can eat it. I can't
Actually,
believe I'm going to
you know
say
what?
this.
The more I
Eat
think
a hot
about
dog
this,
in 6 seconds.
The more I think about this, I think I'm going to go with Joey Chestnut.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because he might. Like, what if Usain Bolt? He's swallowing and then he can't quite get it down, and Joey Chestnut's basically walking at that point because he's already had the hot dog. It's down the hatch.
Wow.
He's literally swallowing it.
And it's only 100 meters. It's not a 400. It's not a 200, which I think would come back around to Usain Bolt.
We're underestimating both guys.
I don't know.
Joey Chestnut's speed, I think, is a lot slower than we know.
Have you guys seen the Milwaukee Brewers mascot? Like, what they do?
The freeze guy?
Yeah, the freeze.
Yeah.
So when he chases down somebody, gives him a head start. So there's a part of that this would be theater, though, because no matter what, Joey Chestnut is getting to getting the head start. So it would be fun to see just how far would he have to get before Bolt would run him down.
That'd be fun. I'd like to see that.
Like, what if he got to to 70%? Like 70 yards down.
Like, it might take
and then
Bolt
he was
10 seconds to eat a hot dog.
That's the question. Are you favoring Chestnut?
I'm going Chestnut.
Okay.
Jorge, what do you think? Factor
No, I'm going Bolt.
Okay.
I think that's just gonna be what. I say 6 seconds.
I
is
just-
enough
I
time.
just don't want my-
Jamaica. I'm sure he
How
can eat.
long do you guys think it will take you guys to eat a hot dog? I think it'd take
2
at least
bites.
10 seconds.
This would be a
2
great
bites.
question.
Yap, gone.
This is a great question for Michael Thompson, who's from the Bahamas but is obsessed with Usain Bolt.
Yeah.
And also, I'm sure, is familiar with Joey Chestnut. So I'll see if Michael weighs in. We'll
All
get to
right.
that later.
So I have so this past weekend I was in San Diego. I was visiting my friend and her wife, who both are in the Navy, and they're both Navy pilots. And so they fly helicopters for the Navy, and her wife also trains people to
kick-ass job.
fly helicopters.
Yeah.
And I was watching Top Gun with them because I was like, of course I have to watch Top Gun with two people that went through the same training.
Heck yeah.
It's not called Top Gun for them because it's not the jets, it's the helicopters, but it's a similar scenario.
What do they call it? Do you know the name?
I
Tops?
forgot
Okay.
it. It's
Yeah.
not Top. It's
Okay.
something else. But it was funny when I was watching the movie. They were nitpicking every scene and be like, "That wouldn't happen. That would happen." They don't like the jet pilots. All that fun stuff.
Are you a nitpicker, Margo? Watching movies like
Well,
Some.
this is the
Dick and
statement.
nits.
Okay.
Some, yes.
There is a movie that you can't watch anymore because you nitpick it too much. That the football isn't accurate, the basketball isn't accurate, etc. There's a movie you can't watch anymore. DeMarco Factor Cap.
Wow. A movie I can't watch because I pick it to pieces.
Yes.
Some football movies bother me. because just like your friends, and it doesn't happen that way. Any given Sunday, what did you think?
I mean, the Pacino speech,
you liked it or you didn't like it?
I did like it. Yeah.
Okay, that was like, what do you call that? A mashup of every speech you've ever heard?
Yeah.
And it's usually given, but not there.
Yeah.
But I love the speech, but no one would sit there right there and listen to that speech. But go ahead.
No, but the movie overall, I did enjoy it. So if there's a movie for me, it would probably be Teen Wolf.
Oh,
if you go back and the basketball is obviously just totally ridiculous. So as a kid, whatever, like I wasn't that focused on it. There was part of my head that was like, wait, did he dunk there? Because is this a shortened rim? But you just see they use like there's only like so many. They apparently didn't get enough B-roll. Because there's a lot of the same shots
stuff
that over and over, but
You're
they
right.
use at different parts of the game. So that one's tough.
The
basketball
breakaway
part
and the
of
back
that
and the pass behind the back they use like 4 times.
That one's tough in hindsight for me.
I
How about
wonder
you guys?
who was the stunt guy for Teen Wolf. I want to meet
don't know.
that dude because he was bow-legged. Yeah.
Jorge, there's a movie you can't watch anymore because you nitpick it.
Yeah, it's with Leonardo DiCaprio. It's The Island, I believe that's what it's called.
Oh, yeah.
So many continuity errors on that one. But if we were to talk sports movie, those Rocky movies just unreal. Like they're throwing punches that are just ridiculous, man. Like Michael Thompson says, like, who wants to watch something like that when punches like that are not even real? Nobody would be able to take a punch like that.
Rocky.
So whatever.
Rocky hate.
I love Rocky. Why are you dumping on Rocky? You
I
don't
wanted
know
to
the
push
Rocky
your
rules.
buttons
You don't know
out.
the Rocky rules, right? No defense, and every punch you throw must be a haymaker.
That's right.
Right.
No jabs allowed.
No jabs allowed.
Yeah.
No, everything must be a haymaker.
Yeah.
All right, back to Wimbledon. By the way, Ben Shelton just advanced to the quarterfinals, so he will be representing America in the quarterfinals of Wimbledon. But Iga Swiatek is a Polish tennis player. She's very talented. But when in her on the court post-game interview, she was asked about what is her cheat meal while she's in Wimbledon when you win a match that you want to celebrate a little bit, and she shared that she has this Polish dish that is pasta with strawberries. And so it's a sweet pasta with Greek yogurt, some creamy. She adds Greek yogurt, but you can add cream and kind of both dehydrated and mushy strawberries with the pasta. So you would have strawberry pasta. You would try this. Jorge Petrocat.
Yeah, I wouldn't. No thanks. There's strawberries are for one thing, and like desserts and stuff, and pasta's just your dinner before the dessert. So I wouldn't mix both of them. So cap for me.
All right, Trudeau.
Yeah, I think I'm going to cap that. My niece called me yesterday on FaceTime and asked me to take this quiz that was like you had to fill out what type of food you would eat at certain parts of the day, and then it told you what animal that you eat like. Essentially,
Like so a BuzzFeed quiz, basically.
It was exactly.
Yeah,
it was based on like she was like, "Oh, can you do it, please? I want to find out what you are." And so I had to think about some things like this. So there are certain things that I just don't like at all. Like I don't like cheese, which people always freak out about when I say that.
I'm with you.
I tolerate it on pizza.
Yeah.
Okay, I like Cheez-Its.
Cheeseburgers.
Other than that, no, I don't. So no, I don't want
No
cheese on the burger.
cheeseburger.
On the
Okay.
burger, I go. So if I'm in In-N-Out, I go ketchup, lettuce, and pickles.
Okay, no
only.
cheese.
No cheese.
Fair.
Right.
And you don't do a charcuterie board.
No, definitely not. I mean,
word
I got
sounds
the olives.
disgusting.
I got some nuts
Not
on
the
there.
cheese part.
I'll just leave the cheese out off of there.
Sounds like
so,
a crime.
So it seems, and I also don't really eat seafood much.
Oh.
It's not that I can't. My parents didn't eat it, so the first time I
Chicken,
tried it,
steak,
I was like
beef?
18.
Yeah.
So I'm just. But other than that, I'll pretty much try whatever. At least, so it seems like I'm picky. But I'm not that picky. But that one, the strawberry element is not something that I'm like, oh yeah, I kind of want to try that because I just don't see it.
Yeah, Cat,
Marco?
completely. It's strawberry pasta
Yes.
with yogurt.
It's like the mushy part of the strawberries
Strawberry
is made with
pasta and
the Greek yogurt.
Out. I'm out. That's the one you
Yeah.
pass up. I
don't
love it.
yogurt.
Here, put it on this side of the plate for me. Yes, and then that goes right in the trash.
Yeah, I don't love yogurt. I do like. Have you ever tried peanut butter and jelly on a burger though? Now that is good. Try that.
PB&J with
PB&J on a burger is excellent.
PB&J with
Yep.
a piece of Angus beef.
Yeah, just
And a
peanut
butter
butter
Just
and jelly
the
burger.
peanut butter and jelly, but not like a full sandwich.
No, I'm saying with the buns. Yeah.
Okay, so you have, like,
a
4
peanut
pieces
butter
of
and
bread?
jelly burger. Now you could throw a little bacon on there, some banana like peels. But the peanut butter
Did
and
you
jelly
make this
is
up?
No, there's a place called 26 Beach in the Marina Del Rey. That way back then they had a PB&J burger, and I was like, "What's this?" And I tried it. It's amazing. Anyway, all right.
Fair enough.
More coming up. Last Man Standing, in fact, coming up next. That's next on Travis and DeMarco Show on 710 ESPN. I'm Mike Trudell in for Travis.
You never have to miss a moment of LA's mega sports station. Get the all-new ESPN LA app.
Just search ESPN LA in your App Store or Google Play.
Download, tap, and bam!
You got 710 ESPN in the palm of your hand.
Disney's Descendant Zombies Worlds Collide Tour. Live in concert. July 23rd at Crypto.com Arena. A one-of-a-kind live concert experience starring Kylie Cantrell, Freya Sky, Malia Baker, Malachi Barton, Dara Renee, Joshua Colley, and Makana Knife. Live on stage, singing all the hits from the movies. Tickets on sale now at DescendantZombiesLive.com.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. We are ranked number 18 in the nation and number 1 in Orange County for orthopedic and spine care by U.S. News & World Report. From the surf to the green, our world-class doctors are there, which is why more Californians choose Hoag Orthopedic Institute for orthopedic and spine care more than any other hospital. At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you. Proudly founded by premier physicians in partnership with Hoag. Learn more at HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Hey, Joe Fortenbaugh here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sportsbook for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with the promo code JOEQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Mason and Ireland on 710.
The biggest show on the radio.
You know, breaking up is a tricky thing.
Yeah. How do you do it? I've never really done it. I just ghost.
Just ghosted?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel guilty breaking up with somebody when I was growing up, obviously.
Yeah.
So I would instead do things to try to get them to break up with me.
Oh.
Because that would assuage my guilt.
Yeah. I get that.
Then I don't have to worry about the guilt of it because, they were done with me anyway, so fine, it's over.
Right.
Now, is that what LeBron's doing? Is LeBron trying to send a message that he wants to break up, but he won't come right out and say it, and he's putting pressure on them?
I think if you're a player of LeBron James' stature, you never want to be in a position where you're not happy someplace.
Mason and Ireland, coming up next at noon.
On 710 ESPN. This is the Travis and DeMarco Show.
Now weekdays 9 a.m. to noon on LA's mega sports station.
710 ESPN.
We got last man standing. So how it goes is I have a list of 10 things, a ranking of 10 things.
Okay.
You're going to try to get something on the 10 list of 10 things. If you guess wrong, you're out. I'm going to try to see the last man standing here, okay? So.
How does DeMarco generally fare, relative to Travis in this game?
Depends. Are you still keeping score?
Yes. Here is the running tally of wins.
Okay.
So Travis has 9 wins. DeMarco has 6.5 wins. Emily has 11.5 wins.
Yeah.
Jorge has 5 wins. Laura has 1 win. And other people that have played have been Roland Williams and Greg, and they have no wins.
What's the half for?
We ran out of things.
We ran out of
things, but you're still there. So we only have 10 things here.
So
why would you ask that question anyway?
Well, because I'm just because to me it depends on what if you've had a week off or something, and then he's had more opportunities.
That's not why you asked that question.
So I almost want win percentage more than win totals, but that's fine. Okay,
I am not keeping track of the amount of times we have played. And also, if you are leading it, you can't win it, which is why I only have 11.5.
Right now, let's go.
All right, so here is our list of things. over the weekend, Jurassic World Rebirth came out, and it took Scarlett Johansson to the #1 spot.
No
okay?
way.
She is now the highest-grossing actor of all times. And by that, I mean the movies that she has been in have earned the most money.
Is this the list? Is this what we're gonna last man stand on? Because I was gonna ask you who she top. Okay.
Yep, I will tell. You'll probably try to guess it.
Okay.
So again, the category is the amount of movies they've been in have earned the most money.
I only got like 2 or 3. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So you're trying to guess 9 of these because they're Scarlett Johansson's off. I told you who it was. All right. Let's start with Jorge.
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise is on the list. He's number 6.
All right.
Trudeau.
Robert Downey Jr.
He is on the list. He's number 3.
Iron Man, Avengers.
Marco.
Okay, so big guns. I know at one point he was the guy, Samuel L. Jackson.
Correct. She just beat him this past weekend, so he's number 2.
Okay.
All right, Jorge.
DiCaprio.
He has not been in any superhero movies.
Doesn't
so
not
think
have a
superhero
franchise
movies.
Yes.
They will be on this list. Trudeau.
Okay, how about Chris Pratt?
He's on the list. He is number 1, 2, 3,
I see
4,
where you're
5.
going. Boom. Marvel.
DeMarco.
Give me Harrison Ford.
Oh,
no, he's off the list.
Because his movies, this is not adjusted for inflation. And so it's got to be the ones that are most recent.
Because he was the guy.
So Trudell does win.
Oh, hell.
1-0, baby.
What would have been your next guess?
Vin Diesel.
He is also on the list. You did pretty well.
Wow.
So
All
he
right.
was number 8. So here's the full list of the top 10.
Fast and Furious, baby.
Yes.
Exactly. So number 1 is Scarlett Johansson now. 2, Samuel L. Jackson. 3 is RDJ, Robert Downey Jr. 4 is Zoe Saldana. Because you forget that she's in Avatar and she's in Avengers.
And she plays Gamora.
Chris Pratt, Tom Cruise, Chris Hemsworth.
Yep.
Oh, Hemsworth, yeah, that
Vin
was gonna be on the
Diesel,
list.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and Chris Evans. That rounds
The
up the
Rock
top
would
10.
have been a good,
Marvel,
Marvel,
The Rock, Marvel, somebody
And
else.
The Rock was in DC. So he's got some, he was Black Adam or whatever.
I just hope that, look,
Jumanji.
I just hope that moving forward, Emily, you when somebody asks you who's leading, you go by percentage, and then it will be me because that would be 100%.
1-0.
Yeah,
you're an all-star.
now.
What a great list. You know, I'm out on the dinosaurs. I really am. I remember
especially after this weekend, it was not very good.
It was not very good. I just remember when Jurassic Park came out, it changed the world.
I saw it yesterday. I saw the new one.
Did you like it?
I took the boys. Yeah, I did. I thought, like, look, it's going to be somewhat formulaic at this point.
It's the same exact
like
movie
that.
as the first one.
But like they did it. They did a good job with the cast. I thought that it had enough to keep the kids engaged.
Oh.
And it wasn't. I had my little one too there, who's 4, and he wasn't like so scared that it was, that it was out of pocket. So it was good. It was.
I think there's one probably scariest scene with the T-Rex. I think is probably the scariest.
Yeah, there were a couple times where I kind of like
too.
floated a phone video game, like
Right.
when I thought the T-Rex was about to chomp on the guy's body. But
course.
I don't know. I mean, at this point, this is I don't know if this is bad parenting, but like Riggs, my little one, I'm playing like Star Wars video games with him. Like he can pull on the Xbox, so like he's pretty advanced with the lightsaber. Like
What's the bad parenting?
Well, just that some people would say you don't want people like slicing, aliens
Violence.
in half
Yeah.
with the lightsaber at age 4.
Okay.
But
yeah, okay.
maybe I'm violating that, but
No.
I don't know. But he seems to.
I was that close. This is so funny. I have an older daughter, and I thought I messed up bad parenting. I took her to see Judge Dredd, the Carl Urban one, because it was a comic book movie, and it got a little gritty. So she remembers that movie to this day, and she was like 10 or 11, so that's bad parenting. I almost took her to see F1.
Oh, she can 100% see F1.
Are you sure?
There is one. You don't see.
That was
any,
back and forth between Jurassic World and
You
F1.
don't see any adult time. You see they kiss, and that's the only thing that you see.
Okay.
There's no real adult time being spent. And that's one scene too, where you can say, "Hey, do you need to go to the bathroom?" And then they can go to the bathroom and come back. But there's no blood and guts. There are crashes. That's not a surprise.
She
or a
can
spoiler.
handle that.
So
yeah, she watches Monk. She can handle it.
I'll
But
also say
it's
this,
2.5 hours. That's well beyond daughter movie time. because she's going to have to like take a break, and I don't want to like leave the theater.
You know what though, DeMarco? I also think that for some things with parenting, I'd rather be there when they see something for the first time, so we can kind of talk about it.
Yeah.
Like the same thing has come up when we listen to hip hop, and so in the car for a while, I was either like going on Spotify for a clean playlist or whatever,
or Kids Bop.
No, definitely not Kids Bop. But and then at a certain point, I decided, you know what? I'm just going to play what I play to listen to it, and then if certain words are said, then we're gonna have to have the whole conversation,
have a discussion.
And so obviously the N word is the biggest one.
Oh gosh!
And we had the whole conversation because I didn't want them to hear from some kid at school, and then think, oh, why is this kid saying that? I'm like, look, here's where the word comes from.
Yeah.
Here's why it will never come out of your mouth. Here's what going back to slavery in this country, and on and on. And here's what Jay-Z said about it, and here's what Oprah said about it, and on it. So we had the whole discussion. And I wanted it to be from me instead of them just like talking about it and wondering why they should say it at school or not.
Oh, okay.
Not why they should say it, but
yes.
I wanted them to actually understand the meaning of it. And it's the same thing. Like if you can have that conversation, then I'm not worried about the F word. Like or you know, like
okay.
that's the one thing I'm worried about.
But I will say, F1, you'll be fine. I actually saw it again this weekend for the second time.
Really?
I'm still all in.
Here, can I ask you a question about F1?
Yeah.
Is it like, is this crafted totally by F1 where they're hey, who's the biggest director we can hire? Who are the biggest actors? Here's all the money in the world. We want this to make our sport like grow and seem exciting. Like does it seem like you're being sold that story like that?
Okay, so it's hand in hand. It's not like it's entirely a branding movie. I do think that it was Joseph Kosinski who directed it. Ever since he saw Drive to Survive, knew he wanted to make a movie about F1.
Okay.
And the only way that you have this amount of access and this amount to make the movie as great as it is, you have to have the partnership with
some
F1.
input. Yes.
So the thing is that they are literally racing on these tracks. They are really driving these cars with other drivers on the course. I mean, so when you see the driving on the course scenes, it's not Brad Pitt driving. So when it's driving with other drivers on it, that's not Brad Pitt driving. If you ever see his face, it's he's driving solo. But they are driving these courses. They are in these cars. They did learn how to drive these cars. They're on they're in the paddocks that other things
you
are.
You guys got me fired up. I fell for the Ryan Gosling as Black Panther. That was an internet rumor.
Yes.
So
it was fake.
I heard Tom Cruise is coming to F1 Part 2.
So here's the other thing. So let me take you back a little bit.
Days of Thunder is graduating.
There was one of the producers of both this movie and of Days of Thunder, Bruckheimer, has an idea to do a Days of Thunder F1 crossover.
Yes.
And this almost happened, though, in a similar way because Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt were originally supposed to be in Ford versus Ferrari.
Oh.
Tom Cruise backed out because he wasn't going to. He backed out because he found out he wasn't going to drive the car as much.
You're scared of Pitt.
No, he thought he wanted to drive the car more.
Scared of Brad Pitt. He didn't want none of that.
They've worked together before. They worked on Interview with a Vampire.
And he kicked his butt. No, I'm just kidding.
But that's why. There is a possibility of a Tom
I love
Cruise
those mashups. I would be bonkers for that. Almost did. Yes, we decided to go to the beach instead. But yes, almost. But 2.5 hours too long.
All right. Well, that's on my list. All right. We got some Laker talk coming up. Plus, I did get an answer from Michael Thompson about Joey Chestnut.
What did he
versus
say? Is he
Usain
wearing
Bolt.
Zubas?
I will let you know next. But first, DeMarco, I need you to get ready. All right. This Friday, July 11th, at the West Covina Sportsplex, join 710 all day long. We're kicking things off at 9 a.m. and don't miss out on a chance to experience the rock climbing wall, zip lining, and more. You think Mason's going to get up on the zip line? We'll see. It's all happening.
Never happened.
It's all happening at the West Covina Sportsplex, 2100 South Azusa Avenue in West Covina. Spend your summer Friday with us. Made possible by our friends at Visit Page, Arizona and Arrowhead Water. All right, Lakers, where do they stand right now? I will tell you all that I know. Next on Travis and DeMarco on 710 ESPN. I'm Mike Trudell for Travis.
The most followed sports radio station in the world.
In the world. That's right. In the world.
710 ESPN.
You know it. Yeah. Tell your friends.
At ESPN Los Angeles on Instagram, Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch.
We're naturally entertaining.
Yes.
LA's mega sports station. 710 ESPN.
Do you really think you've experienced real sports excitement in your home? It's Mace here, and I'm here to tell you to get off your couch and get into Cosm. Cosm is the ultimate immersive fan experience. The Dome at Cosm, massive 87-foot wraparound display with reserved booth-style seating. The Cosm Hall features wall-to-wall screens where you can watch multiple games at the same time. Incredible food, craft cocktails, beer available throughout Cosm. Go to Cosm.com to see all the sporting events coming up, and now showing The Matrix at Cosm.com.
Beat the heat this summer with NextGen, the official AC plumbing and electrical company of SoCal sports fans. If your AC breaks down, don't hesitate. Call NextGen now and enjoy expert installation on any new system. For a limited time, combat SoCal's air quality and reduce dust in your home with a free no-ozone air purifier included with any new AC system install. Call 833-3NEXTGen or visit nextgenairandplumbing.com to book online. CSLB number 1011173, lifetime warranty on selected items.
Hi, it's LeBron. The Lakers play here.
710 ESPN.
KSPN, Los Angeles.
A good karma brands radio station.
And yes, welcome to the Travis and DeMarco Show. Now mornings, 9 a.m. to noon on 710 ESPN. Your destination for LA sports. Let's get back to the fellas. The Travis and DeMarco Show continues right now.
Yes, we are back. So
well, maybe that's why Jorge put on some of that old Thompson and Trudell music right there. Get me back.
I need this from you. Okay. I still don't know why J.J. Redick went away from Jackson Hayes in the postseason. So that's number one. Number two, I need your top shelf big man, because I had fun with you about the three-pointers and you went off. So you love this style of basketball clearly. So who is the top of the heap five in your opinion right now?
I mean, I'm actually I'm more traditional with what I think works in basketball than you might think. So I will get to that. Let me first pay off though Michael Thompson.
Oh yeah.
Okay, this is what he said about Joey Chestnut. Okay. So Joey would need about a 5-second head start. That Michael has done the math as to how fast it might go. By that time, he's at 40 yards. So I don't think Usain would catch him with 60 yards to go. So he's siding with Emily on this one, and there is no bigger fan of Usain Bolt. So the only way that we would be wrong here is that if he can just crush a hot dog faster than we think, like faster than the average human. So basically, like the average Joey Chestnut does what he does better than Usain Bolt does what he does, which seems insane.
Right.
Or it's just it's physically impossible. Because of the length of the race.
Maybe that.
The race was 200 yards. It's Bolt easily, I think. I think it's the 100 yards.
That's for sure.
A normal human like us could run that.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. All right, so now basketball, Laker talk, everything else.
Yes. What happened to Jackson Hayes in the postseason?
I mean, I wouldn't. I just think that specific matchup and where Minnesota was with their bigs, what they were doing with Hayes. The biggest threat that he brings on offense, right, is the screen roll, the lob threat. And Minnesota was essentially taking that away. And so once that happens, you have to adjust in a different way. And I don't think it's anything against Jackson Hayes. It's just that type of style and the player that he is. He didn't have another area to go to on the offensive side of the court.
Right.
And then on defense, Hayes is he can protect the rim at times, but he's not your traditional, you're going to be able to clog the lane and help with the weak side and just kind of be your anchor center.
Yes.
So I think it was just that.
So
Nothing against him.
So
just
the narrative
situational.
of J.J. Redick gave up on Jackson Hayes in the postseason
it's
is
just
false.
one matchup, situational.
Okay.
Minnesota was doing something really well. They were a huge team. They were really physical. And in that specific matchup, I think that he was looking for a different avenue. He was looking to instead spread that defense out.
Okay.
And so that's all it was.
Good.
So
okay.
I didn't read
I
too
can
much
scratch
into
that off.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad you answered that.
And it's
great answer.
And that to me, it's a good way for you to bring it up in that context.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Deandre Ayton then.
What I'm saying. What is your top of the heap five right now? Like the perfect five for the Lakers would be what?
I mean, so the perfect five depends on what your personnel is, and in this case, if the Lakers are building ultimately with Luka Doncic, right?
LeBron,
what is
AR,
and of course LeBron and AR for this season at minimum, but like Luka is the piece I think that you think about for the long term build and what big kind of works best with
Let's
him,
just focus
right?
on the now. right now.
So
yes.
so the now to me, and so DeAndre Ayton, for the price that they got him, it is a great piece of business for the Lakers. All right, this is a basically career 15-10 guy, and he has had his issues both in Phoenix and in Portland with kind of things like consistent energy and just kind of just having that crazy on the court energy effort all of the time.
You've seen him up close. How does that manifest? You can tell when he's not playing hard.
I mean, it's just I think that traditionally you can look at any big man, and if you are that big from youth, and in this case he's also super fluid, he moves great. He's not like a stiff 7-footer, right? He's very athletic. I think that the game has come so easy to him, and he's able to produce to the level that I just said, about 15-10 as a career. And he's just that's sort of been him. And when you're that big, you're going to be almost made to play basketball. And I don't know. I haven't talked to Ayton before, so I don't know how he's wired. I just know, thinking about you don't see too many number one picks by this point, having left one franchise and then another in Portland.
But how many times have you seen him on the floor?
Many.
Enough to form an opinion, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And so he was fantastic when Phoenix went to the finals, and I thought Chris Paul was a big part of that. There are parts of what Chris Paul does on the offensive side of the court that Luka Doncic does in a different way. But in terms of having somebody to orchestrate an offense, Luka is going to get so many easy buckets for Ayton.
Yes.
That I think can energize and engage Ayton maybe in a way that he wasn't fully on a Portland team that frankly wasn't very good and wasn't trying to win all the time.
Yes.
So
okay.
I think that this situation that Ayton is coming into, for the Lakers, it's a low risk, it's a low cost, and he's much more talented than anybody else they could have gotten that was a free agent or even on the trade market, frankly, for that price. So that, to me, that's why I said is a great piece of business. And now Ayton is going to have to prove, right, that he is willing, that he's going to live up to the talent that's there. But the talent that's there is ridiculous, and the situation is really good when you've got Doncic and LeBron and Austin Reeves feeding you the basketball.
So situation, I think culture matters. So like you said, the game comes easy to him. Maybe he's never been pushed. I assume that will change here.
Yeah,
with LeBron and Luka.
I think Chris Paul pushed him, and that it did get the best out of him.
Good,
and that, so it's there. Like he's put that on wax before, so we've seen it.
Yes,
and now I think that here's the other part of it. When you think about the business, Ayton is on the kind of a deal where I'm sure he's going to want to get to that next deal, right? And so it's the motivation for him to play well, and maybe it's there on its own. Maybe he's heard all the doubters in Portland. Maybe he heard the doubters and the disrespect in Phoenix, and he wants to bring a certain level of that to the Lakers. And so I am excited to see how that looks.
Yes,
and I think that for what they got him for, which was again nothing. They didn't have to give anything up. All right, typically you're going to have to trade in the modern climate because there's so little in free agency. You're going to have to give up something, a future first-round pick, a young asset. They didn't have to do that, and they bring in a guy that has this level of talent. I think that was a very smart piece.
Same agent as Luka, right?
Yeah,
basketball is funny how that
yeah,
works.
Bill Duffy.
That's how that works.
I mean, look, in basketball,
mechanisms
the
to get people moving.
The power agents, and Duffy is certainly one of them. Rich Paul would be another. Jeff Schwartz another. They have a lot of the best players in the league, so it's not uncommon for an agent to have multiple guys on
one
team.
more thing about Ayton, and I'm glad. I mean, the two things, actually. The unprofessional. That is a horrible label to slap on someone. Does that ring true? I guess we'll find out. So forget about that. The thing I want to know is, like you said, he is a career 15-10, right? Love that. 7'6" wingspan. You think you see more block shots?
Yeah, I mean, so this is part
it's beggars being choosers. I'm happy with what you get. I agree with everything you said. I'm just saying, 7'6" wingspan, you think you'd see more blocks unless your feet never leave the ground.
No, so somebody like him, you could think of blocks and also even dunks. He's somebody that should be able to dunk many, many times a game.
AK was here in that seat. He gave us his dunk chart. It was like 91 dunks, 120. They're all dunks. A lot of dunks from him.
A lot of dunks, but I think that his dunks will go up. Is my point though, because he is so tall and so long, and he's got pop. He's not stiff. He's not a stiff 7-footer where if you don't give him the ball in the perfect place, he's going to turn around and dunk it. As for the blocks, so Ayton is not the type of defender to necessarily go and chase and try to get every block. He is usually anchored in the middle of the paint, It's one of the reasons why his rebounding numbers are so high, though. So the flip side to that type of a player, Jaren Jackson Jr. in Memphis. Mm-hmm. So Jackson Jr., an excellent shot blocker, not a good rebounder. And Jackson often takes himself away from the basket trying to pursue blocks, and that can come at the expense on the glass. So
leave you hanging.
It's one of those things. It's like you want bigs to be able to have that threat of being a shot blocker, but you also want them to be able to get back into the play and rebound. Right. And I think that the combination of Ayton and Jaren Jackson Jr. is Anthony Davis. That's a player who can do all of it and does it on a consistent basis. Ayton could be better at rotating out and getting blocks and helping on the weak side and just being active. Jackson Jr. could be better at getting back and recovering on the glass. So, but I will say for the rest of this Lakers roster, and just thinking about specifically with LeBron, with Luka, with Austin Reeves, one thing that you have to have is an anchor-type rebounder. Right. And Ayton does do that. Like, he does clean glass. He's also good on the offensive boards. What I would say, like, as for the fit with Luka, DeMarco, like, what you want to see on offense, Luka's great when you have somebody who's an excellent screener,
sets good screens,
and
rolls
to the basket
hard to the rim. Get your butt up there. Yes.
So now you could also have somebody that picks and pops, right? You could have a stretch 5 tight play with him that sets a good screen and then pops up the rim. That would be more like a Brooke Lopez, right, where he's screening and
Give
popping.
Me the mauler.
But the roller, I do love having the roller for him. That's what Jackson Hayes does. When the defense takes that away, though, as I mentioned, the Timberwolves did that, right? They took away the role essentially for Jackson Hayes and said, if you want to kick it out for a corner 3, we're going to concede that. We're not giving you the lob, the dunk. Ayton does have a mid-range game that he can go to as well. He also has a post-up game that he can go to. So it's got to be a balance, and I think that J.J. Redick's going to have a really good idea as to what he wants to see and how much of it and where.
So how's your West stacked right now? Like with KD going to Houston, everything's changing right before our eyes. Where do you have the Lakers in the West? Like, what is your top 5 West? What's your seeding right now if you had to?
I mean, look, the roster
hot dog to your head. Yeah.
It's not, the roster isn't final yet. Like, we're getting closer. I think they essentially have 14 roster spots that are looking pretty sewn up. There's a potential to still add another piece if they want, or they can go into the season and kind of wait.
Let's
to
say
add
you didn't make another move. You got Bron, you got Luka, you got Ayton now.
So look, bottom line is OKC is going to be the heavy favorite again to be the 1 seed in regular season wins. I think that a lot of people are going to have Houston as the 2 seed. They were the 2 last year. They add Kevin Durant. Like, that's going to help. Yeah. But I also like Denver's offseason, and they still have Jokic. So I could argue for Denver.
Who's coaching them?
So Edelman.
Edelman did. Okay, go ahead.
Edelman.
I'm sorry.
So they're gonna keep him, retain him from before David
Denver.
Edelman.
Okay, Denver 3. Yeah.
So I think that I might have Denver 2 and Houston 3, but take your pick, either 2 or 3 there. And then you get into a category of like, all right, so Minnesota, 2 straight trips to the Western Conference Finals. You give them the respect probably and put them in that tier, or at worst at 4, kind of right behind the Houston, and like in that mix there. So then I think you're getting into the area where a Luka Doncic coming back fully motivated, in great shape. We're going to get to see him play for Slovenia. The Lakers are in the mix for that spot. I think that Dallas is probably, they have to get Kyrie back, but like they're going to be a little better than people think. So getting Cooper
6.
Flag
out of the play-in, but like 5-6, right?
You're going to have the Clippers and the Warriors are probably going to be in that area with a full season of Jimmy Butler. We'll see what they do if they're able to add Horford. And then let's see, the only other team I would really have in that range would probably be San Antonio. San Antonio finished 13th in the West last year, but they weren't really trying to win later in the season. They add Dylan Harper. Wemby is insane. And, of course, they missed Wemby for the end of the season. That was part of why they went in the tank. So I would not dismiss San Antonio as a possibility to kind of be in that range ahead of the play-in. But, I gave you kind of the first 4.
You did. Yeah.
And the Lakers, like, I think that people are discounting at their own peril what a full offseason, what Luka can come in doing here, knowing a little bit better now how he could fit with LeBron, knowing how Austin Reeves fits
because I haven't
bringing
seen
in DeAndre Ayton.
Yes.
Like I would not dismiss the Lakers from being right kind of in that area, but in terms of regular season wins, it's going to be tough to catch like an OKC team that's that young and that athletic, and Houston's got the depth. So, but they're going to be in the mix, I think.
I saw it in glimpses here with Luka running things. The problem with Luka to me is he ran out of gas again. It seemed like he got tired.
I mean, I think the whole team ran out of gas at DeMarco. But here, look, I will.
But
it
happens,
I will explain a little bit more as we get later into the show on that. Plus, I want to get back to you, Pete Carroll coming to the Raiders.
Are you a Raider? No, you're a Vikings fan.
I'm a Vikings guy, but I'm curious about what you actually think he can do with the Raiders. And there's a couple things that surprised me about Carroll when I was looking some things up from Seattle. We want to get to. That's coming up next on Travis DeMarco on 710 ESPN. I'm Trudell filling in for Travis today.
LA's mega sports station.
710 ESPN.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. We are ranked number 18 in the nation and number 1 in Orange County for orthopedic and spine care by U.S. News and World Report. From the surf to the green, our world-class doctors are there, which is why more Californians choose Hoag Orthopedic Institute for orthopedic and spine care more than any other hospital. At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you. Proudly founded by premier physicians in partnership with Hoag. Learn more at HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com.
Don't navigate the legal system alone. Hey, it's Travis. At the personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand, they will fight tirelessly to get you the max compensation you deserve. Joe and his team understand the emotional and financial toll that an injury can take on you and your life. Call 213-747-2000 or visit normandlegal.com. The law offices of Joseph S. Normand have helped thousands of people like you recover millions of dollars in settlements and verdicts. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. Your recovery is their priority.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Hey, that's the spirit. Right now, we're celebrating free with a free STP oil filter when you buy 5 quarts of oil and free Duralast brake pads when you buy 2 rotors. Like always, free battery testing, charging, and recycling at every store. Celebrate free at AutoZone now through July 28th.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Rita, Jorge, let's bring the nail gun over here.
Jose stands tall atop his sustainable flooring company.
Totally. It's renewable and moisture resistant, but we have several green options too. Or we got some beautiful reclaimed oak.
But floored by his success, he needs to hire more installers.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
And yes, welcome to the Travis and DeMarco Show. Now mornings, 9 a.m. to noon on 710 ESPN, your destination for LA sports. Let's get back to the fellas. The Travis and DeMarco Show continues right now.
All right, Travis and DeMarco in the morning. Trudell in for Trav today. Where's Trav?
On assignment in Philadelphia.
He's in Philadelphia. He went to a Phillies game yesterday.
Yes.
He sent me some pictures. He was
Okay.
sporting some Phillies gear, blasphemous.
Wait,
He's not wearing
what?
Dodger
Why was
stuff.
he wearing Phillies? What?
He was wearing a light blue Phillies hat to the game.
That is questionable.
You can't wear another team's hat.
Blend in, bro. They're crazy up there.
Well, just wear a different hat.
Just
Wear
blend
a I don't know, a Travis
Don't be
Matthews
that
hat.
guy. Respect somebody, stadium.
Sounds like he's going to have some questions
But you
to
have
answer.
to respect with your wallet
Respect
too. You got to
some
buy a hat.
stadiums. Come on, man. You should not wear the enemy's stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
So what I did when I went to Padres game, I just wore a generic other hat. I didn't wear a Dodger hat, but I also didn't wear a Padres hat. I wore a different ball cap.
Well, so here's my rule.
Yeah.
So we as I've mentioned a few times, I being from Minnesota, I grew up a Twins fan. I moved to LA in 2008, and covering the Lakers, I very quickly realized the marriage between the Lakers and the Dodgers. Kind of they go hand in hand. And I started working for Spectrum, which has the Dodgers and the Lakers in 2012. And so I started watching
De facto
every game.
Dodgers fan.
My kids are born here. I go to games, and so I've adopted the Dodgers as my National League team. Now, when they play the Twins, and I doubt they'll ever play in the World
You
Series
go
because
for
who
the
knows
blood,
if
the
the Twins will
home,
ever get there.
yes.
I would at that point I would have to choose the Twins for myself. My kids would be Dodger fans, but when they play, I would not wear the colors of either to the game out of respect for both of the franchises that I root for.
If your teams are playing and you want to rock your gear, if the Dodgers are playing the Phillies, wear your Dodger gear.
Yeah.
But don't be wearing Dodger gear to a Philly stadium when they're playing someone else. Don't be that guy.
Well,
I can't stand that at SoFi. When the Rams are playing the Niners and some guy shows up with like I don't know, a Broncos jersey or a Raiders jersey.
Well, okay,
this is not your environment.
So here's the flip side. So I went to the Vikings and Rams game last year, right?
Yes.
Now, I have not adopted the Rams like I have the Dodgers.
Okay.
For multiple reasons. One, it wasn't that they weren't like that whole thing hadn't happened yet when I got here. The LA football is a little different anyway.
Hold on.
Right? We're going to get to the Raiders in a second.
When people ask you where do you live, you say I live
in Los Angeles.
This is your football team.
Well, they're also the Chargers are also here.
Is your football team. They are playing for you. I'm just letting you know.
Okay, fair.
If you live in L.A., the L.A. Rams are your football team.
And so are the Chargers, right? Because they're the Los Angeles Chargers?
Yeah.
You can pick them too if you'd like. I'm just saying.
Yeah. But here's
yes.
but since the NFL, it's so easy to consume your team.
Yes.
Okay. Like I can watch every Vikings game. I can't really watch every Twins game unless I A, don't watch the Dodgers, and B, get the Major League Baseball pass and do all that. So it's very easy to remain a fan of whatever team that you have in the NFL. So I have remained a steadfast Vikings fan. I raised my kids more as Vikings fans, and so I went to the Rams game, and I did wear my Randy Moss authentic throwback.
Fair.
Now, I'm separating the Dodgers and the Lakers sort of in LA in this special tier, but I see the Rams making a little bit more progress every year.
Would you like to make a wager? Because I just did this past Sunday at the farmer's market with a guy who made some excellent wings, unique wings.
Okay.
He's an Eagles fan. He couldn't wait to show me his Eagles jersey.
Yes.
So I made him a bet. It's on camera. I said, you live in Los Angeles, just like I asked you. The next time they play, if the Rams beat the Eagles, you have to renounce your fandom and become a Rams fan. And he took the bet.
Wow.
So I would
never
ask you
take
the
a
same
bet like
thing.
that. No.
And if we did, the Rams just beat you in the postseason.
Yes,
so
they did.
you
Handily.
should be
handily
a Rams fan.
No.
Let's
That's
make the
not
bet.
how fandom works.
I will
know,
never leave
but
the Vikings. Although
but
I will.
But this LA thing is, there was no team. I had to pick somebody. I hear it all the time. So to win you
I'll
back,
say this. As a second,
I'll take your favorite team and bet you. The next time the Rams beat them, you have to become a fan.
No.
Would you do that?
Well, this is where it gets a little more complicated because I mentioned I used to work in my first job in sports. I was an intern for the Baltimore Ravens, and I still know a lot of people there. So like if they're not playing the Vikings, there's a part of me that roots for them. I was in NFL Europe, with Cliff Kingsbury.
Yes.
So wherever he is, he's a good
You
friend.
love him.
So
Yeah.
I kind of pull for him as long as it's not against the Vikings.
You're not taking the bet.
I've got all these split loyalties.
You're
but
afraid of taking the bet.
But I will say that, and then I've got a bunch of buddies who work for the Chargers. So it's kind of like, and then I got some buddies who work for the Rams, like you. I love JB Long.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of.
It's
I'm being
different. You're
pulled in
from
a lot
Minnesota.
of directions.
She likes Pittsburgh. I'm talking about the people here. I'm betting LA people that picked other teams.
Well, my wife.
The next time the Rams beat your squad, whoever you've aligned yourself with, you just became a Rams fan.
My
Take
wife,
the bet.
My wife just texted me when you made that comment. She said, "Divorce, LOL, skull forever." You cannot leave. There is no leaving the Vikings. It's not
marriage
worth
is on
my
the
marriage.
line.
It's
okay?
different for you.
It's
okay.
not. Yes, I cannot leave the Vikings. But I do want the Rams to do well. Generally, and if my boys, again, they have to be Vikings fans. But as they grow, they're 10,
Yes.
right, and the youngest is 4. The Rams are wide open to recruit and to win them over.
Okay.
They have to beat out the Chargers. They are LA boys. They're Lakers and Dodgers.
I just want to test.
Open.
I want to test some fandom. This is my new
That's
thing.
fair. That's
and
fair.
I'm putting it on camera too.
Well,
and I'm going to the Niners fans next. The
speaking
ones
of
that
it,
live here.
I know there are some Raider fans still here, and I wanted to ask you about about Pete Carroll and like what happens
Excellent,
there.
coach.
Like I know because I know you're a fan. So
No, it's just
give me the breakdown.
Not just a fan. He's an excellent coach. Everywhere he goes, the team is successful. They're very, very good. He creates a culture of competitiveness. Like
that's kind of his big thing, right?
Compete
That's his big
is his
buzzword.
thing,
Yeah.
and that works everywhere. And to be able to do it in the NFL now, when you can't really go in practice without pads, and to keep that same spirit, he's going to make the Raiders better.
And you think Geno makes a big difference relative to what they had?
I'll say this. This is the best move the Raiders have made in 10 years. This is a step in the right direction. And I think Geno Smith is very familiar with Pete's offense. They know each other. You don't have to worry about those guys having an ego situation or a clash. And he's a serviceable guy. And if I asked you, like let's say Pete Carroll was a brand of cereal. So his brand of football is what?
Okay. Well, it's not Lucky Charms. I just
not
was
that. I mean,
thinking
his
about-
brand would be run the football, play defense, and be smart on special teams.
I thought you were asking for what cereal.
yeah. Okay,
Yeah, I was
that would
like,
be good. What would
say
be
Cheerios.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
He
Where are you
would
going
be
with this? But
Honey Nut Cheerios.
Honey Bunches
Oh,
of Oats.
okay.
Yeah,
okay.
sweet, but it's it's a staple. It's,
Okay.
you know, not that
we'll
hard to
get you
coach.
there. Maybe not your favorite, but is the one that you might need the most.
If you're hungry, you're not going to complain, but it might not be the one you select first. But that's what I'm saying. It's something that he's done.
He's got
beef up
interesting
defense, run the football, and don't beat yourselves with turnovers, and be good on special teams.
He's got interesting personnel. I mean, obviously, we all love Brock Bowers.
Yes.
Ashton Genty, like that
Give
looks
him the rock.
pretty good at the running back spot.
got
You
a
got
matchup problem.
Mostert behind
Yes.
him. The wide receivers probably have something to prove, right?
Yes.
You got Jacoby Myers, Trey Tucker, and who's the third string? Probably like Dante Thornton Jr. maybe.
But it's going to be Brock Bowers pretty much.
but
right.
yeah.
And I think that might have been sort of quarterback dependent. But go ahead,
Okay.
keep going. Yes.
No, but I'm just saying. So there are some pieces there.
Yes.
And
Max Crosby on the other side. And they've built
Yeah.
up that defense a little bit, and Pete Carroll knows how to coach it. And he's defended or coordinated against just about everybody in the league. He's going to be a step up, or the next time he sees McVay, I know what this guy's trying to do. I know what he wants to get done. And this is what I'll do with this talent. Pete Carroll knows what he's doing. This is a great hire for the Raiders.
I do think the struggle with the Raiders is in getting good right now is that their division is so difficult. Like the entire division is full of Hall of Fame coaches and Super Bowl winning coaches besides Jim Harbaugh, but you know, maybe that's a matter of time for him. So they have to raise their level, and they might not get to the playoffs because their division is just that difficult.
He may coach his butt off and come out with a 9-8.
They've
or
got
a 10-7.
They've got the 7th worst Super Bowl odds. We'll see if that goes up. Maybe the division is part of that. Where do you think the Rams are, by the way, in Super Bowl odds?
Near the top.
Yes,
I would guess like 11th best.
Yeah.
Ooh, a little better than that. So right now, it's Bills and Ravens are tied for 1. Then the Eagles. I, by the way, would have the Eagles above those two teams. But,
I'm with you.
Then the Chiefs, then the Lions, and then the Rams. So
Yeah,
the
they're in the
Rams
mix.
are 6th, and then the Chargers are coming. They're like
Seems
12th
like the
or
Rams
something.
and the Lions are
Chargers
tied
are
at
like
the hip
12th.
right now.
But I think the big thing with the Raiders getting Pete Carroll is this, like you said, but it's competency. They have not had competency in their head coach in quite a while. They've had someone that they've had people that have been so all over the place.
really proven
that
it.
knows what he's doing and knows how to run a team, not a guy that apparently has won the locker room but's never really been a head coach. Like we're stepping out onto new turf here. We don't know if he can do it. Pete Carroll is obviously a great coach. He's a Hall of Fame level coach.
I'm only going to do like 2 minutes on this, but this is I could do a whole hour on this. But you know, years ago, there's this whole discussion about parity and how there's so much parity in the NFL, and that's great, and that's why it's different from the NBA and the same teams win. And it's almost flipped now, where this like the teams that are winning in the NBA, it's not correlated to market size or anything like that, and it like there are more like as witnessed by Oklahoma City winning this year, Indiana making the finals.
7 different winners in 7 years.
You're not getting repeat champions, and so then I'm just looking at the betting odds for the Super Bowl, and it's like it's been the same like 4 or 5 teams now for the last several years, like the Bills,
Philly,
the Ravens, the Eagles, the Chiefs, you know, and then like the Rams. Now the Lions are the one that didn't used to be in the party, but they have for the last several years now, and then not too far behind the Niners, right? Then the Vikings, like so. These, and then at the bottom, on the other hand, you've got kind of like the Panthers, the Jets, the Titans, the Giants, the Browns, the Saints, like teams that have kind of been down. So has that flipped? Is there something you think that's been flipped in this where these certain football markets and teams and organizations have had more of the year after year success, and then there are a lot of organizations that seem like they've been foundering?
I was looking at Super Bowls and NFC, and it's like it's the Rams, it's the Eagles have done it twice, won a Super Bowl, and the Buccaneers with Brady. So it just, you know, it depends on quarterback, and with the exception of Philadelphia, it's more of Saquon Barkley there. He kind of saved that unit or changed that unit a little bit. So it all depends on who your signal caller is as to how good you are or how open your window is. So if you have one of the quarterbacks in the top 10,
coach with that?
You're
Like,
probably on that team. Go again?
Is it coach with and quarterback? Is it just kind of quarterback
For Andy
like that,
Reid
that
and
pair?
Kansas City and Mahomes, yes, he's a big part of that. Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford, obviously big part of that. Sirianni and Jalen Hurts, I don't know. Like I said, I think Saquon bailed them out a lot, and they have a really good defense.
And they've just drafted so well. It seems like that's been their magic.
Howie Roseman is their MVP.
Yeah,
their GM. They've been
just
so
talent,
good there.
Just the talent's been like all across the roster.
Overwhelming. That was probably the most scared I've been, or like a helpless feeling, was watching Josh Allen go up and down the field. Like really, like that dude is on a different level. But Philadelphia had talent literally everywhere. Every spot was a guy that could possibly start for you on game day. That doesn't happen often, and they're insanely talented. But to answer your question, yes, quarterback matters, and this is the thing with the Raiders. I'm not ready to write off Sean Payton and the Broncos yet. That dude is also top shelf, Hall of Fame level coach. Can get some stuff going with the right group, and it seems like he has it with Bo Nix. So no matter what Pete Carroll does with that roster, in that division, you could still wind up third and miss the postseason with great coaching and great players. But they're going to be better.
All right, gotcha. All right, ESPN LA's 4th annual All-Star Friday night event is right around the corner. It's all going down this Friday, July 11th at the West Covina Sportsplex, so don't miss your chance to press the flesh with us during the summer tradition unlike any other. We're kicking it off with live broadcast starting at 9 a.m., and don't miss the first ever T-Ball T-Zone, or excuse me, the T-Ball T-Off presented by our friends at Children's Dental Fun Zone. All at the West Covina Sportsplex, 2100 South Azusa Avenue in West Covina. Thanks to Children's Dental Fun Zone. We treat your kids like our own. All right, coming up next, hot and cold, it's Trudell in for Travis on Travis and DeMarco on 710 ESPN.
Mason and Ireland on 710.
The biggest show on the radio.
You know, breaking up is a tricky thing.
Yeah. How do you do it? I've never really done it. I just ghost.
Just ghosted?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel guilty breaking up with somebody when I was growing up, obviously.
Yeah.
So I would instead do things to try to get them to break up with me.
Oh.
Because that would assuage my guilt.
Yeah. I get that.
Then I don't have to worry about the guilt of it because, they were done with me anyway, so fine, it's over.
Right.
Now, is that what LeBron's doing? Is LeBron trying to send a message that he wants to break up, but he won't come right out and say it, and he's putting pressure on them?
I think if you're a player of LeBron James' stature, you never want to be in a position where you're not happy someplace.
Mason and Ireland, coming up today at noon.
On 710 ESPN.
Accident or injury, call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob.
Winning matters, especially after an accident. At calljacob.com, we're here for you when you need a big win. After an accident, go to calljacob.com or call 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB.
Disney's Descendant Zombies Worlds Collide Tour. Live in concert, July 23rd at Crypto.com Arena. A one-of-a-kind live concert experience starring Kylie Cantrell, Freya Sky, Malia Baker, Malachi Barton, Dara Renee, Joshua Colley, and Makana Knife. Live on stage, singing all the hits from the movies. Tickets on sale now at DescendantZombiesLive.com.
If Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea was your best friend, it would be the kind of friend that starts an impromptu dance party in the supermarket aisle that turns into an all-day pool party rager at your place, and you don't even own a pool. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea turns any day into a legendary adventure. It's smooth and refreshing real iced tea with just the right kick of alcohol. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
The Black Friday and July event from Dell Technologies is here with great offers on trusted technology. You'll also discover huge deals on new AI-ready laptops like the Dell 14 Plus featuring Intel Core Ultra processors starting at $699.99. Save on top accessories, plus enjoy fast, free shipping and other benefits. Upgrade today by visiting Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
As you know, we've welcomed a new partner here at 710 ESPN, NextGen. NextGen, the official AC, heat, and plumbing company of SoCal sports fans.
You're as cold as ice.
Call 833-3-NEXTGEN, NEXGEN, or visit nextgenairandplumbing.com. Time for our feature we do 3 days a week. Who's hot? Who's cold? Thanks to NextGen. Boy, time for Who's Hot? Who's Cold? Take it away, Producer M.
Aloha.
before we get into hot and cold.
Konnichiwa.
Okay, there we go.
Hola.
There you go.
There we go. So, see, okay, Trudell, they originally,
Bienvenido.
it was because I went to Hawaii, and then that first week back, I said aloha to start a Factor Cap, and then they all started saying different greetings as I started Factor Cap, and now it's migrated to hot and cold as well.
Willkommen.
So that's why they were waiting for your response. But before
I was
that,
like, why are you looking at me?
Roll that up.
I thought Emily was taking this segment.
Before
Leave
that,
me alone.
Get ready this Friday, July 11th at the West Covina Sportsplex. Join 710 all day long in public. Don't miss out on the special activities like meeting our friends like Bailey, the LA Kings mascot at 12, and Rams cheerleaders between 1 and 3 p.m. It's all happening at West Covina Sportsplex, 2100 South Azusa Avenue in West Covina. Be sure to bring your coolers and lawn chairs for Travis to evaluate for AllStar Friday night. Special thanks to All Pro Plumbing and the Jaime and Blanca Foundation. All right, what's
I
hot?
still don't have freaking chairs for the beach.
You need chairs for the. You
I
live in
know.
LA, dude.
It's been too dang long, and
You're
there's
better
no
than
excuse.
that.
I need to
Get some
chairs.
Tommy Bahama ones on
Yes.
Amazon, and you'll be set to
I
go.
can't defend that.
So Ben Shelton has just made it into the quarterfinals of Wimbledon, but over the weekend he had a match and he won, and he was thanking the people that are in his box. His box included his girlfriend Trinity Rodman, who is on the U.S. Women's National Team, and his sister. And this is what he said about his sister.
My sister's here. She's been here for every match that I've played at this tournament so far. She's been the lucky charm, but she has work back in the U.S. starting on Monday. She works for Morgan Stanley, and hey, come on now. She works for Morgan Stanley, so if any of y'all have some connects and get her a couple extra days off so she can, we can keep this rolling, that'd be great.
So
you got the week off?
he ended up being able to get his sister the week off. Her work called her, said she's good to stay throughout until her brother's out of Wimbledon or to the end of the tournament.
That's awesome.
So
why were they booing?
They were booing because she has to go back to work on Monday.
Oh,
she
okay.
said, she's going to go back to work on Monday in America. They go, whoa.
Oh, I got my hackles up for a hot minute. Yeah.
It's because of the work, I think. So have you ever helped out your sibling like this, put pressure on somebody to, give them some more time off, or helped out your sibling?
I don't think so. I don't
never
think I've
hooked
ever
up your brother?
advocated my brother's employer so he can get the day off. Actually, it might have been the opposite. Yeah, he ain't sick. He's playing golf.
I was like, you're a famous NFL player. You never were like, hey, why don't you give your brother the day off so that he can come to my game?
No, never
No?
done that.
Okay.
No.
I mean, so me definitely not with my older brother. My older brother works he's a professor at the University of Maryland.
Yeah.
I don't think I hold a lot of sway with the English department
Yeah.
over at Maryland. Now, this isn't completely related, but I did help my little sister get a college scholarship for soccer. Does that
How'd you
count?
do that?
Heck yeah, okay.
Just made a little highlight tape, with my dad. We got her out there. So that's the only thing I can take some level of credit for with my lovely sister Ashley. But in terms of her employer, she works as a therapist. Yeah, I don't. I guess I'd have to call on. What would I say?
I'm Trudell.
Okay. Have you ever faked something to get your siblings out? Like in terms of called the office and be like, hey,
Oh, tons.
It's
Yeah.
my mom.
Oh, no.
Let her out or
Yeah,
something like that.
No, I was
lied to the
I was a
office.
rule follower like
Okay.
that.
Oh,
I
really?
didn't do that. Yeah,
Oh,
you
no.
did it?
Yeah, of course we did.
Oh,
yeah,
good for you.
Around, not report card day. It was progress reports came out, and we all screwed up and screwed. Yes, we pretended to be dad.
Oh, I was
Yes.
the annoying older brother who would have been like, "You're not skipping school today.
Oh,
You're not
really?
sick. Get your ass to school."
I'm the youngest.
Go
I
get
did
your
what they
education.
did. But we skipped over the most interesting part of that whole story.
What is
Did
it?
you say Trinity Rodman?
So
You're
it's
dating
it's-
Dennis Rodman's daughter?
Yes, they
Good
don't really have a
luck.
relationship,
Oh.
so I don't. And she also doesn't like people bringing up her dad whenever she's kind of referenced.
Oh.
'cause
I don't
they don't
think
really
he's
have a
super
relationship.
involved. Yeah.
Oh,
with
well,
her.
that's a hell of a movie.
Yeah.
Coming to meet dad, and it's Dennis Rodman.
Well, I don't think he's
Yeah.
meeting dad. Is the thing.
Comes out with tats and no shirt on, flip flops. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
but they've been together, and they're a power couple. She's on many women's national teams. She's their star forward, and so she's really good herself.
Yeah.
All right, what's cold is Luis Ortiz. So he is a pitcher for the Guardians who is currently sitting on non-disciplinary paid leave, and that's because It is through the end of the All-Star break. And that's because there is some questionable activity around 2 instances. So he was pitching, and there was an abnormally large amount of these things called micro bets, where you can bet on the first pitch being a ball or a strike for an inning. So this is in, I believe, the 2nd inning of a game, and there are 2 different instances where the ball was just wildly off the plate. And there was a large amount of bets placed on specifically that inning's first pitch to be a ball. So the league is just investigating to make sure that there's not any funny business around Luis Ortiz attempting to rig a system for bettors and friends.
So they're saying he threw a ball to win a bet.
That is what they are trying to investigate and see whether or not.
Good luck.
And obviously, this isn't the first thing in baseball that has this betting issues. We had the entire thing with Shohei Ohtani's interpreter, Ippei, and Ohtani himself.
Yes.
I'm surprised this doesn't happen more often.
We're as close to gambling as we've ever been as a sports period. So I'm not surprised by this. I'll say this. I have zero sense of humor about this. If they investigate and find out it's true, he should be banned for life. Because when you bring that to the field, you violate the integrity of the sport. And I can't trust you. The fans stop trusting the game. We can't have this. You need to be made an example of. And I don't want to hear the argument about it's just 2 balls. It didn't really affect the game. That's not the point. The point is he went outside of what we're trying to do, outside the game, and tried to win a bet. You're letting them into the clubhouse, the locker room, what have you, cannot happen. If it's true, you should never play baseball ever again, period.
I mean, this made me think, Emily, when you brought it up, of the Jonte Porter thing in Toronto, right, where he ends up eventually pleading guilty to it, but where I think I don't remember what it was. It was FanDuel. It was one of the gambling sites, but they essentially noticed a big spike, and they alerted the league. And so if in this case with the first pitch thing, they see this big spike and it's random, right? It's for a pitcher that isn't necessarily of note and it's for one specific thing. Then it does seem like now with all these partnerships that there's some of that type of information is being shared. So I'm finding it a little hard to believe that there's that much smoke if there's not something there. But of course, he'll have his chance to defend it, and
good luck proving that, man. Yeah, that I threw this on purpose.
You have to prove yourself more innocent than anything, and I think it's more of the cloud of suspicion around Luis Ortiz. And I know we're having it right now with Malik Beasley in the NBA, and then we had Terry Rozier be acquitted of this.
I feel like this type of thing wouldn't be that hard to prove that it happened. Especially if the team has some kind of access to whether it's his phone or if it's laptop. And then again, I don't know how it would work with a lawyer. But if there's emails and if we're already hearing about some level of investigation, they may already have some of that information. So
the money's got to get to him. But who was the guy that went coast to coast and laid it in?
That was Malik Beasley.
Beasley.
That was
looked
one of those,
obvious.
Well, but here's the thing. That was one of those where so after the name came out, then the Twitter sleuths went back and looked at every play from X year on,
like Tim Donaghy.
Yeah, and right. So it's so did that play? I mean, I could give you many players that also took a bucket in the final minute that weren't
But if that coincides with some gambling,
that's why it's everybody has. So it's if you become a suspect for anything, and all of a sudden somebody's going through your past and trying to piece moments together, right? Then you could be open up to it. But in this case, that doesn't sound
good luck
great
proving it.
So that was Hot and Cold, and it's brought to you by Next Gen, the official AC heating, plumbing, and electrical company of SoCal sports fans. Call 833-3-NEXT-GEN or visit nextgenairandplumbing.com.
Here's what you need to investigate: every Jake Paul opponent. Investigate them. Yes.
Okay. Is this a passion project for you, Jake Paul opponents?
I just can't wait for this sideshow to end.
It's okay.
Please.
You're not a fan?
I thought our guy was going to do it, Jorge. I really did.
What, you thought
Iron Chin was going to bring one out? Maybe.
Come on, no, stop.
I don't
Get
know.
out of here.
I was hoping for the best. Nope, it just keeps going.
You paid for it? You watched it?
No, I did not. No. He's ranked now. He's ranked as a cruiserweight. That means you got to fight somebody.
All right, the dump.
Are you dumping out all the stuff right now, or are we doing this next on the dump?
Next on the dump.
Okay.
Yes.
But it sounded like you wanted to dump on Jake Paul.
That's it. Nope.
No.
I wish I could fight. I'd fight him. Yeah, he knocked me out.
Well,
payday.
Payday.
I mean, you're talking tough, but you're also the same guy
Yeah.
that basically refused to go in early on the gorilla. You're sending people like me and Jorge in
Dog,
instead.
have you seen
So-
a gorilla up close?
Yeah, I
Good
have,
luck.
which is why former NFL star.
I know we're
lineman
going to
is
lose.
who's
A
going
lot
in.
of people are going to die. You go first.
I don't know.
Okay.
And that's my point. Is that I don't appreciate being sacrificed when you're somebody that could pull more weight than me.
You give me 95 Aaron Donalds and 1 Sue, maybe I'll go with you. Okay. Yes. But if it's just me and you go first. Yeah. right.
You can't catch me because I'm running the other direction.
Right.
All right. Well, are there other things you would like to tease about the dump? Because it
no,
sounds
not
like,
at all. What's the guy's name again? I have to remember his name. The big dumper up in Seattle.
We got Cal Riley. We got the big dumper up
Cal
next.
Riley. We called it the dumper. Yes, I love seasons like that. Guys out of nowhere making names for themselves.
And then
Yes.
Emily, are there other intricacies of the show that I need to be aware of? I think
I think you
I'm
got
caught
it.
up at this
I think
point.
you got it. I think,
Yes.
okay, well, here's one thing we're going to tease in the dump.
Okay.
There's a lot of drummer news
Oh.
that I think DeMarco will like.
Okay, so I'm currently staying in a house, and shout out to our very generous friend Martin, who's letting us crash. 'Cause we're doing a little work on our house, and he has a full drum set in
nice.
his basement. So DeMarco, if you're in the area,
Can he play?
He can play a little
Okay,
bit. I mean,
there
I
you
think
go.
it's more just for kind of like for fun. But
Yeah.
if you're looking for a set and you know where
It's
you know
a
where I live.
perishable skill, and I don't play every day, but I am a big fan of drummers. When I look at bands, I look at the drummer only.
Well,
Yes.
but first of all, I didn't know you were at the beach because I was at the beach on Friday. What tower were you?
I
by?
was at Rat Beach though.
Oh,
Where were you?
I was at like Hermosa.
Oh yeah,
like
you were down a
Manhattan,
little.
down-
I was
down
down
a
at
little farther.
I was down at Rat Beach, and
Okay.
it was great. And then at night, just the clouds came in, but
Yeah.
it was fun during
Yeah,
the
yeah.
day. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, the dump has been teased already. Emily promised something about drummers, and DeMarco is currently Googling all the things on drummers that he has the right
whatever.
answer. All
Come
right,
on.
it's Trudell in for Travis, and then we have Crosstalk coming up not too long as well. 710 ESPN.
Mason and Ireland.
Can you do a cartwheel, John, if you were pressed?
I used to be able to, but I haven't done it in so long.
I've not done a cartwheel in a really
you do
long
one?
time. I'm sure I can.
The biggest show on the radio, weekdays at noon.
On 710 ESPN.
You know I love the outdoors and adventures. Hey, it's Travis calling all adventurers. Page, Arizona is your ultimate outdoor playground. Snap that iconic shot at Horseshoe Bend. Then hike the stunning 11-mile rim trail. Explore one of 13 breathtaking slot canyons, including world-famous Antelope Canyon. Craving water fun? Cruise Lake Powell by kayak, jet ski, or houseboat, or float the Colorado River to Lee's Ferry. Make Page your base camp for day trips to Grand Canyon, Zion, and the Wave. Start planning your trip today at visitpageaz.com.
Hey, Joe Fortenbaugh here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sports book for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with the promo code JOEQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York. Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlog projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters' experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
It's time for everything we haven't gotten to today. Yes, it's time for the dump.
Ooh, I love this part. Yes.
I promised some drummer news. And some of the drummer news is that the legendary drummer for Pearl Jam
Yes.
is leaving the band.
Is he really?
Yes.
Getting old?
Yeah, getting old. Just
Time to
choosing
go.
to, nothing but respect for the boys kind of
Yeah.
thing. And no hard feelings. Just seems like it was the time for him to retire.
Yes.
And so Pearl Jam is so he's leaving, as well as it is Ringo Starr's birthday.
Oh, no
and
way.
Ringo Starr is turning 85.
Underrated drummer. I don't
Shout
know.
out Ringo.
I don't know the drummer from Pearl Jam? I don't know him by
Matt
name.
Cameron, I believe. Is
Matt
his name.
Cameron. Okay, but Catcher, drummer, hard man on tour. Usually they're the first ones to say, "I'm done." Yes,
I can understand why.
Yes.
So my dad, of all the musicians that he raised me on, the Beatles definitely played the most, and so I now play them for my youngest. Will play a couple songs before he goes to bed, and so he can do. Hey, who are the Beatles? Like John, Paul, George, and Ringo, and he loves Ringo because it's closer to his name. Because his name is Briggs.
Yeah,
so he's got like the R-I and then the G in there. So shout out to Ringo.
There was a drum documentary that came out. Chad Smith, all these drummers, and they all gave props to Ringo.
Yeah,
like he gave him his due. Yes.
Who? So I just know about how Barry Keoghan is going to play Ringo Starr. So how do we feel about the whole Beatles documentary? They're doing 4 of them, complete movies about each Beatle.
Yeah.
And
a Beatles doc or a Beatles movie?
Sorry, Beatles movies.
Movie. 4 movies about
4 movies.
all
You know, like there's the Elton John one.
Yeah.
There was what else was there recently? There was another like biopic of like a legendary artist.
Okay,
but,
I definitely for Ringo.
Oh, Bob Dylan, obviously.
Bob Dylan.
Tim Chalamet.
The John Lennon one's going to blow everybody away.
Yeah, and they're going to release them all like in different times.
Yeah.
But it's and so Paul Mescal is going to play Paul McCartney. So Paul Mescal is from Gladiator 2.
Yeah,
if you know him.
He's going to play who?
Paul McCartney.
Oh.
Paul
Mescal. Harris Dickinson's going to play John Lennon. He was in Baby Girl.
Yes.
And so he's the lead man in Baby Girl. And then Joseph Quinn is going to play George Harrison.
Who is the guy that's going to play Lennon?
Harris Dickinson. He was in Triangle of Sadness, and he was also in Baby Girl this past year. And then Joseph Quinn is playing George Harrison, and Joseph Quinn is in the new Fantastic Four movie, was in Stranger Things, was in A Quiet Place Part 2, whatever this one. Yeah. And then Barry Keoghan is going to play Ringo, and Barry Keoghan was in Saltburn.
Yes,
he was in a couple other movies, but
he's kind of like an it guy the last.
He
couple
dated
years.
Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah,
that's what people know him about. So I think it's going to be an interesting layout, but we'll see how it goes.
Ambitious.
I'm in on all of it. There's everything that I can consume about the Beatles. I watched all 10 hours of the Apple.
Mm-hmm.
Did you?
Yeah. So I'm
You're a Beatles guy.
I'm in on all of it.
Okay.
For sure.
So
definitely. Lennon has the most intriguing story, wouldn't you say?
I mean,
Paul's a prolific writer.
Being shot.
Ringo is Ringo, and
I think just in terms of the impact, right, of everybody remembered when Lennon got shot, and all that. That was right. I was born in '81, so it was just after that. But I mean, Paul has had sort of I think he's the biggest name now of the group because he's the one that's still around. He's still doing concerts. He's on Saturday Night Live.
Remember that question we had when she came in on Mike Tyson on The Hangover. Right?
Yeah.
That's their first experience with Mike Tyson. So we were talking about when you came in on a celebrity.
Yeah.
I came in on Paul McCartney with Wings.
Okay.
Dude with the beard, like this and that. I'm like, why is he so popular? And then I learned Beatles in reverse. I get it now.
No kidding.
Yeah,
okay.
I came in on Wings. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay.
I had no idea. Right.
Burst into it.
Not necessarily drummer news, but band news.
We don't know. If it's not drummer news, then I don't.
Then we're done.
No,
we're done.
Yeah.
Oasis has started their reunion tour. They're starting out in London, starting in England, but will come over here and do the Rose Bowl eventually. So what do we think of Oasis?
I heard you say. Yeah, I like Oasis. I would like to go to the show. I have. I mentioned this to you, DeMarco. I have a friend, or I guess friends, the husband and wife who. Big Oasis fans, and the second that they heard that tickets were going on sale, they were like, we have to get to the first show that we can in case they get into a fight, and they cancel the rest of the tour. So, and they live out here, so they buy tickets to fly to England to go see them, or maybe Ireland. I can't remember. I'm sure they're playing in both. And then they find out after, like a couple weeks after, they're actually coming to, is it the Rose Bowl?
Yeah.
Okay. So but now I said, look, don't feel bad about that, though. It's still going to be, it's more awesome to go over there and see them in their backyard. So, like, that's pretty cool. And they're from Manchester. Although Manchester City fans, which I hate, I'm a Manchester United guy.
Yeah.
So I don't support them in that way. But some of the music I do appreciate.
Dude, that soccer just bled right into that. Look at you.
I mean, it has
to.
It's what it's about over there.
But
Jorge knows.
You said it. It's like watching NASCAR. I'm a fan. I don't know how many songs I could actually name, but I like Oasis.
You probably heard Wonderwall.
Yeah, you
everybody's heard
Champagne
that.
Have some
respect.
Yeah,
I think the brothers are insanely talented, and I love when brothers are in a band.
I do feel like the one thing, this might have been a kind of a stereotype about Oasis, but they did some interview where they likened themselves to the Beatles, and I was one of the ones like, oh, who do you think you are? You can't say you're the Beatles. If a young player says that, if they just mention the name LeBron or Kobe, and it can be used, it can be taken out of context, but I remember that tainted a little bit for me, the way that I looked at Oasis, but I ultimately appreciate the music.
If they did how long is a normal concert set? 2 hours? 90 minutes?
Yeah, 2 hours.
If they did 2 hours and it was great and didn't fight, I'd be disappointed.
I mean, that's the question.
A little.
I'd
be a little disappointed.
I feel like the money is probably too good even for them to dismiss, because that's where all bands now are making all their money, right?
Touring, yes.
Yeah, so that to me, I don't think they're just doing this because they miss playing their music and they miss being together. I think that they're like, all right, look, we got to cash this check.
And they knew that they would sell out every single city they're going to.
A gimmicked wrestling chair up there just to
see they're going like full stadiums, like 90K, or whatever. And now I got to consider the Rose Bowl. It's just that's a tough.
It might already be sold out. So it might not even have an option.
Well, everything it'll be sold out, but you can always go secondary.
Yes.
For some insane amount of money, probably.
So it's been a big weekend still for F1. The movie is still number 2 at the box office, just behind Jurassic Park in its second weekend. But Silverstone happened this past weekend, and some 2 things of note from Silverstone. It's the British Grand Prix. One, the winners, the top 3 finishers, received their cups, for winning in forms of Legos.
Nice.
Wouldn't they do that in Denmark? Like, why would they do that in England?
No idea. Okay. Just because they decided to, I guess. Legos.
Cool, though. I respect that.
Sponsorship. But then also, Nico Hülkenberg, who had been racing for off and on-ish for 15 years, got his first podium. Got 3rd place and so your first trophy is Legos. Would be kind of funny.
That is kind of funny. Yeah, you're like, well, this is cool, but can I also get the real one?
Yeah,
really.
I'm sure they will. I'm sure it's not just the Lego form, but those are 2 things. And then also,
what was the full podium? I didn't even see.
It was Lando Norris to win it, and I can't remember who the second person was.
Is Norris McLaren?
Yeah, McLaren.
Look out for McLaren.
Okay, and then doesn't Verstappen always win?
Verstappen,
he didn't do well. I don't think so.
I hate Red Bull.
It was Lando Norris, number 1. I don't have it right in front of me.
Christian Horner, can't stand him either.
I like Christian Horner.
You look like him, by the way.
You think so?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, you got me. I'm still mad about the last man standing.
Is that
but
just kind of generic white guy look? Is
no.
You think I do look a little bit like? Okay.
No.
He seems like a decent looking guy.
He's doing great. His life is awesome.
His wife is Ginger.
Yes.
Ginger Spice. So
got a decent race team too. Yes.
All right, one last thing before we go to the crosstalk. Today is National Dive Bar Day.
Hey.
Favorite dive bar in LA?
Whaler in Venice.
I got one.
Whaler in Venice. Okay.
The Whaler, because there's a shot that you might see Steve Mason there.
Yeah.
Okay, at the Whaler in Venice. So that's a great.
That is a good spot for you. The Whaler in Venice.
That's a good one.
You just go get hammered and wind up. Somebody we know had a big farewell party there. Do you remember this?
Oh yes, I was there, and now I'm trying to remember who it was for.
Dave McMenamin.
Oh yeah,
had a farewell. Wow,
right. And I just kept buying him shots the entire night. Dave was very excited.
There you go.
Mason, good memory. I had until you brought it up. I'm like, I know I went to someone's party there. I don't remember who it is. So
you got to get loaded to feel good about moving to Cleveland.
Always good. Yes.
Yep. And now he's back. What's your spot?
I think there's one that you might know called the Castle.
Oh, the Castle.
Yeah, it's right off PCH.
Oh, yeah.
That one.
Famous.
There's
famous
nowhere to
dive
park.
Down that way.
Yes, that is fun. Great sports talk in there.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
What about you? You seem like a guy who frequents dive bars all the time.
Of course.
That seems like your middle name, dive bar.
I just went to one that was awesome, DeMarco, and it's at the top of the Redondo Pier. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
There's like a fire hose drink or something that they're famous for.
Live music up there.
They got live music.
Yes.
It's a little room. You can
What's
oversee
the fire
ocean.
hose drink? That sounds interesting.
It tastes like a like a Mai Tai, but
Yeah.
just with a little bit more alcohol in it. Like if somebody just poured more
Nice,
vodka
like a
on
little
top of
rum floater on top of that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm talking about.
But
I've
it's
been
great.
there.
It's ocean views. I just went there with some of the baseball dads like last week, and I can't remember the name of it now. But that's my spot.
I know the Tony's right up the
Tony's
right
Thank
there.
you. Boom.
Yes, right there.
There you go.
Great
Tony's.
spot.
All right,
Yes,
so
sir.
we're all these are all ocean facing type spots.
Yeah, they
That's
are all
that's
right
what
by the
we're-
water.
We're relatable here.
Yes.
Very.
Is Ireland with us today?
No, Ireland is not with us. It's Beto Duran.
Ooh,
Beto!
I
Yes,
finally
sir.
get to do a show with Beto.
Nice.
I'm excited.
Excellent. Okay. All right.
You want to do some Supercross talk?
I mean, can we do Supercross?
Yeah,
talk?
let's
Yeah, we're
skip
ready for
over and then we'll
Supercross
do
talk.
that coming up next.
All right. Well, how do you do the thing where you transition to the
Supercross talk.
All right, Supercross
Use
talk
that.
coming up next. 710 ESPN.
The most followed sports radio station in the world.
In the world. That's right. In the world.
710 ESPN.
You know it. Yeah. Tell your friends.
At ESPN Los Angeles on Instagram, Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch.
We're naturally entertaining.
Yes.
LA's mega sports station. 710 ESPN.
Have you checked out the new Park West Bicycle Casino? Only 9 miles from downtown LA, right off the 710? The bike has been reimagined with new ownership, renovations, and 200 table games. On July 1st and July 15th, buy in for $100 and get $100 in Lucky Chips plus $50 in free play chips. ESPN listeners get $30 in match play when they walk in and say, Cappy sent me. Park West Bicycle Casino. Real cards, real prizes, real close.
Please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER. GAR-00129 001289 001292. PSIS license number 1358.
Hey, it's Mace, and tough times, a lot of people find themselves owing money to the IRS. It can really weigh you down, and you're confused about the right way to handle it. And all those scary ads on the radio about the IRS, they don't help. Tax relief advocates want you to relax, knowing that whether you owe $5,000, $50,000, $500,000 in tax debt, you don't have to fear the IRS another day. TRA has a proven 3-step tax resolution process, plus they're experts at working with special programs available from the IRS to help taxpayers get back on track. Easy to see why they have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. If you owe money to the IRS and feel trapped, don't lose hope. Tax relief advocates could reduce or even eliminate your debt. End your tax nightmare today. Simply visit TRA.com or call 800-575-1482. That's 800-575-1482. Again, 800-575-1482.
KSPN AM 710 Los Angeles. KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
K256CX 99.1 FM, Pasadena, Los Angeles.
It's the greatest segment in LA sports radio history.
Oh my God. When the shows come together for magic on the radio.
It will only grow stronger. It's time for Super Crosstalk.
Steve Mason and Beto Duran.
Beto Duran
In the mix for John Ireland today.
What's happening? What bar were you talking about, Redondo?
Tony's.
Oh, Tony P's.
Yes.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
a good bar.
Yeah, good spot. I've
Have
never
you
been
been
there.
to the castle up there? That dive bar on PCH? If you drive by it, you miss. You been there?
Oh, wait,
okay.
you're laughing like you've been there.
I mean, you only have to
Sounds
go
like a
once.
spot you
Right.
might go.
Right. That's a true dive bar.
Wait, Mason,
Yes.
have you done a full show with Beto recently?
Not recently.
A couple years ago.
Yeah,
Okay.
a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And
A couple
I
years?
keep arguing with Laura. I'm like, give me Beto, give me Beto, give me Beto.
I know.
Give me bet on the days I'm gone. On the
she-
days I'm gone.
she
Give him to
keeps
Ireland.
giving me Ramona and Andy K, and I'm like, no, give me Beto
Beto.
Duran.
I don't want to work 12 to 3. It messes up your day.
Oh.
It's a weird
Well, I had-
hour.
Well,
Because I couldn't go to spin this morning because I go spin at 9:15.
do you really? What would you go to, like Soul Cycle?
No, I
or
go
one
to
of
Grit
those?
Cycle in Long Beach. I go
Yeah?
at 9:30, right?
Yeah.
So that messes it up. I'm
Why
done at
couldn't you do
2:15.
like-
Then I
Yeah.
got to come back. You got to eat. The
Well,
12 o'clock show was
I
rough.
hadn't done the 9 to noon since like Thompson Trudell, so I was like, oh, that's right. This is what the traffic's like at this time.
Yeah.
This is the time. It was
Oh,
nostalgic.
you didn't come
Yeah.
during school hours either. That's even worse.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Like,
Mace,
no,
you've
when
done-
SC's in school,
you've
the
worked
traffic's
basically
bad.
every hour of radio in
This
your
is
life.
my favorite because
That's
you
your best
don't
shift.
have to get up late, or you don't have to get up early, and you
still have your nights.
Early.
You can go to
Right,
bed
You still got
at night.
your
Yeah.
nights.
I think that's a
works for you.
By the way,
strong
so
argument.
you spin Every day?
No, Mondays and Fridays.
So I almost died in a Soul Cycle class once.
How?
Like legit
You're in control
died?
of the legs.
Oh,
guy.
like legit died. Like they were using all Hamilton music. And so you were spinning to Hamilton music, right?
Yeah.
The entire
And
show.
that just hit you in
And
the
by
sweet
the
spot?
time we got to
Alexander
not going to
Hamilton.
miss your shot, I was like,
Your
I'm
heart?
totally missing
Oh
this
my
shot.
God.
Oh.
Totally missing it.
Oh, man.
That spin
That's
classes are-
hardcore, man.
They're torture for me because of the seats.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, it is bad.
It really does suck, and the sprints get hard.
Oh, yeah, they get
Yeah,
hard.
I can't do that.
And the hills.
The hills. I
Yeah.
can do the hills sitting down. It's just the sprints are always hard.
Hamilton, huh?
Yeah.
Hamilton.
Of all the music that do a spin class.
Well, like this particular teacher would like mix it up. One time it'd be Hamilton, one time it'd be disco. One time, she did good stuff.
I don't really
but
like the
I
group.
did not.
I don't really like the group fitness thing as
No?
much. I like to kind of do it on my own time.
Yeah, you do your own. Plus, you're all beat up. You can't keep up with anybody. You have no back. You have no legs. You're
Well,
a mess.
I mean,
You have no back and no legs.
This guy's a mess. His back.
He beat the snot out of us in
And then he was
pickleball.
done for 3 days.
Oh,
after that.
really? Good. That makes me feel
no,
better.
there-
Okay, good.
I mean,
How many surgeries have you had on your back?
No, I had a spinal fusion surgery.
Where?
But L405S1.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Down
it
low.
was a big one.
Before or after we played?
Oh,
No,
years
this is
ago,
2004.
after Northwestern.
So we
Yeah.
got beat, but okay.
Yeah.
That makes me
No,
feel
I can
worse
still
then.
I can do most everything. Is I just can't run, like I can't pound on it for a while. But
Yeah.
like I can do a bike and I can play pickleball. and
So
stuff like that.
I'm going to the neck doctor tomorrow,
yeah.
and I mean I read the MRI, like the report, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh crap,
You're gonna have the surgery?
I don't know.
What's
No,
wrong with
don't
your
do
neck?
I don't know.
Don't do it.
Herniation.
Yeah, 'cause they go through your throat, man.
C67,
Oh my God!
Are you kidding me? I did it
You
once.
did it already?
I did
you really?
the right side. Now
man.
it's the left side.
Oh man.
How'd you
Yeah,
mess up
sucks.
your neck to begin with?
I don't. It's,
Carrying the
they-
station?
It's
Alley-oop.
yeah. I like that. I like that. No, they say it's like degenerative, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, just happens.
Yeah, it just
okay,
happens.
that's why.
Well,
I didn't injure it. but-
I did have one thing I wanted to ask you.
Yes.
So obviously not a great weekend for the Dodgers.
no, it's terrible. Weekend.
Okay.
I was
We'll
there
talk
on
about that.
Saturday.
I was there on
We'll talk
Saturday,
about
too.
that.
Only
Yeah.
scored 6 runs.
Yes.
Yes. Bergman was in here earlier, and we were talking about it. And it's like, look,
We
it's
almost
very,
had him crying.
it's very difficult to kind of like sound real alarm for a team this talented.
Correct,
We know
yes.
they're getting arms, but so,
I am not alarmed at
but,
all.
No, we're not. But that's so. I'm also though. I also whenever I watch a game, because I'm never alarmed. It's also like, well, then what's the takeaway when they play poorly and they lose? Because it's just so easy to dismiss.
Well, they
you know
came
what I
into
mean?
the series having been 14-3 over their previous 17 games, so it's
Yep.
hard to get worked up over losing a series to the Astros. Except it's the Astros and they suck.
It's just not. Yeah.
And they had won, like, what, 6 series in a row or 7 series in a row?
Yeah.
And
So they were, and the only concern is the Dodgers are 21-20 against teams with winning records this year. Now somebody's making a big deal. I don't think that's a big deal.
You have to go
I don't
look for
either.
concerns.
Well, like
yeah,
once,
you really have to do search for them.
and once they get the arms, and we keep hearing they're getting Snell's
Tyler
getting
Glasnow is
closer, and
supposed to pitch
Glasnow's
before
supposed
the
to be-
All-Star break,
And
yeah.
Shohei continues to look pretty good
Yep.
when he's pitching.
Yes, he does. I saw him
So-
strike out the side on Saturday.
Yeah, and he's got I was a little surprised actually that he hit the peak velocity because a lot of times they say after the second Tommy John that you do lose a little bit, and he doesn't seem to have
He
lost a lot.
threw, Beto was at
31 pitches.
31 pitches.
But it's not the velocity. You have to pay attention. So we'll talk about this on May.
Yeah,
30th.
yeah.
Spin rate and like
I was on.
yeah.
I had boots on the
Yeah.
ground. I talked to
Nice,
some people
yeah.
Saturday.
Okay.
Beto was there.
Will you guys, and I asked Greg this,
Uh-huh.
and you know what he said. Will you hate the Astros for life? Because I said
Greg
careful
will.
booing Altuve because
will.
he's good. You will hate him for life.
I will hate him for life.
What if it benefited?
They'll
If
take
it-
him right away.
In what
Not
way?
benefited the Dodgers. What if it hurt the Dodgers? Every time you boo him, it's like guaranteeing the team will never beat him. You would continue.
Wait
to
a
boo
minute.
no
You're
matter what.
saying you lose if you boo?
Because you're
You
helping
boo
him
and
by
Altuve
booing
hits
him.
a home run.
Yes, you're helping Altuve by booing him.
Okay.
Because he loves being a heel.
He loves it. I clearly loves being a heel. That's what I'm saying.
Those are some of the loudest boos I've heard at Dodgers.
Yes.
Stadium.
He walks like he's 6'5".
That's like Barry Bonds level booing.
That was pretty good.
Even more.
Yeah.
It's real hate.
Yeah.
That's what
And
I'm
then he gets a
saying.
double.
Yeah, he does.
You know, we had a hypothetical that I've still been thinking
About going to
early in
prison?
the show.
Wait a minute, going to
dang.
prison?
No, that was the Ireland.
That's
question.
a big leap.
That was Ireland. Were you here for that one?
What were you
No,
talking
what
about?
was
Last
it?
week, Ireland asked me and Sedano if we'd be willing to go to prison if our team won the championship.
Go to prison?
Yeah. Your favorite team wins
Hell no.
a championship.
I mean,
Would
what?
you be willing to go to prison for a year?
Hell no. Was that a real question?
Yes.
Yes.
Did he?
And I said, you're asking a Duran if he wants to go to prison.
Was he
okay.
willing to go
Hell
to
no.
prison himself for a championship?
Because he heard it on a Kelsey podcast or something.
I'm
like
sure
that.
some
no.
Browns fans might consider it for a Super Bowl.
Maybe Ireland. Maybe he knows of a couple white collar prisons.
Yeah,
He
that's
probably has
exactly
a
what
guy-
he's talking about.
Martha Stewart prison.
He's like, oh, my friends have gone to white collar.
Yeah,
John knows
we're not
somebody
going
there.
there. I'm not playing pickleball.
If I were going to go to prison, I would call Ireland first, though. Just so
I've done
he
that
has a
before.
guy.
Yeah.
I seen odds. I'm not going to prison.
Yeah, that's exactly what I brought up to him. And he's like, no, it's not that bad.
Yeah, underrated.
Yeah, wait a minute. Ireland is saying prison's not that bad.
His friends that have gone, are Club Med. You know?
No, there's
Right,
something
exactly.
bad. That is a more fun hypothetical. This one is it's basically actually Emily. Can you lay it out, Emily? It's
Okay,
you
so
say
here's what it is.
Okay.
So it's put out there as an internet debate. There's a race between Usain Bolt and Joey Chestnut in 100 meters.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you have to eat a hot dog before you can start the race. So it has to be,
fully
consume an entire hot dog.
One hot dog.
And then run 100 meters. So in reality, Joey Chestnut can eat a hot dog in like a second. And then he can run an average 100 meters for like an average person is 15 seconds.
So
okay?
we'll say 16
seconds.
Okay. Something like that.
So as soon as you eat your hot dog,
Usain Bolt needs to eat his hot dog in 6 seconds or less in order to beat Joey Chestnut. Who would win?
Does he get the water dunk of the bun? Because the water dunk of the bun is the key to
They both do those.
They
so
both
do. It's even on that.
Huh.
Yeah.
I would think that if Usain Bolt took just a couple of days to learn how to eat a hot dog really fast, I think he'd be okay.
I took Bolt too.
That's what I thought at first, but the more I thought about it,
Chestnut destroys that hot dog.
Because you know that it's gone in a second, and then he basically starts running, and then
he starts at the 40. You said.
No, it's 100.
He's got to run the 100. It's 100-yard dash.
So each of them run 100.
Yes.
Oh, I thought Chestnut would get a head start.
No.
He's straight up. No, Bolt gets.
Yeah, I think Bolt wins.
100 yards is far.
So I did ask Michael Thompson, who considers himself an
know.
expert on all things track and field and the biggest Usain Bolt
Yes,
fan
he
in
is.
the world. He loves Usain. Michael said that he would actually take Chestnut.
Whoa!
I know.
Wow.
He said, so take 2 to 3 big chews and swallow and see how quick that is. Michael thinks that would be slower than the like 6 seconds or whatever that it would take. And I'm persuaded by that.
Yeah.
I have to be honest.
Tell you, one of the coolest things I've ever seen was Usain Bolt
long way.
running at the Olympics.
Oh, you did? You saw
in
which
person
year?
at
London?
the arena 2016, the final time he did it.
Yes.
In Rio, and it was amazing.
Yes.
And the
Were
thing
you working it or you were just there?
I was I was
that event.
That event, I was not working. I was there to be a spectator. And the one thing about Usain Bolt that I loved was that he loved being in the moment. Like he wanted to talk to as many reporters as he could.
Yes.
He was savoring that. And there are athletes that are like, yeah, I don't do interviews. It's like, this is your one moment.
Track and field,
athlete.
Especially for track.
Track and field, they don't have a lot to say.
Well, and nobody's been as fast since.
Yes.
So you've seen the last fastest man in the world.
That 4x1, the women's gold medal against Jamaica keeps coming up on my timeline.
The 4x100 in 2016?
When the Jamaicans got out and the Americans, us, we caught them, and Sharika won it on that final leg.
Yeah.
It keeps coming up. It's amazing. I love track and field.
How does it come up?
It just keeps coming. I don't know
why.
why.
It's your
on my
algorithm.
timeline.
Your algorithm is all 4x100 relay?
Keeps coming up, yes.
He's a track guy.
Used to track and
no,
field.
you like the track.
I do. Don't you like track?
Yeah,
everybody likes track. Yes,
track is going to be at the Coliseum for the Olympics.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're adding the track back.
Yes,
historic.
I can't wait.
I was trying to think of who's like the biggest track star in the world right now.
Right now,
Sha'Carri Richardson,
or
Noah Lyles.
Yeah,
not
Gabby
Noah
Thomas,
Noah Lyles.
Yes.
Noah
Lyles,
I guess.
Fastest. He won the 100 meters. This last time.
Yes. Well, I show speed,
but then he backed out of the race against Tyreek Hill.
Yeah,
they were going to have a race in Times Square, and
I don't think that would go well for him.
My sense of it was that Noah Lyles is the one that pulled out.
Noah Lyles.
Yes.
I don't think that would go well for Lyles.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah, you're going.
He's got everything to lose, and Hill's got everything.
No
to
doubt.
gain.
Right. That's the crazy thing.
Isn't he faster though? Even than Tyreek
200,
Hill?
sure. 100, I take Ty Hill.
Yeah.
Yes.
Would you take?
You
take Tyreek Hill in 100
in a 100-meter dash
over Noah Lyles?
Yes. 200, Noah Lyles.
Interesting.
When you have a turn involved,
Yeah.
sure.
Okay.
Straightaway speed, I take Ty Hill.
Captain
over
Track
just about
over
anybody.
there.
Did you run track, Trudeau?
Track was always during baseball season in the spring. So I would I would cross train with some track stuff for soccer, but I never actually was like on the track.
See you running the 400.
Yeah, 400 was that your event?
Gotta be tall for that.
200,
Minnesota?
Yeah, 200 and 400 are both good for. all that stuff's good for soccer training. But yeah, a lot of 2, a lot of 4. The 8, I'd say the 400 is probably like in training. That's the biggest pain in the ass. You actually have to sprint the whole thing. 800, you can pace it out a little bit.
True.
I did the super stupid events in track,
like
pole vault.
Pole vault.
Yo, you can do a pole vault?
I did pole
vault. I'd like to see that.
Did you do discus?
No, I did long jump.
Long jump.
Okay.
I wasn't especially good, but I did long jump.
Were you a stringy, wiry guy, like 160?
I was, yeah. And I did triple jump.
Which
is another
that
stupid
seems like
event.
it hurts.
Oh. Yeah,
okay.
Just got hop, skip, and a jump.
Wow.
When
that's exactly what it is.
How many surgeries have you had?
No, I just had so I cracked a vertebrae in my back in soccer.
How many surgeries have you had?
That's the big
Mace?
one.
Surgeries?
Yeah, like
body
parts. Not enhancements.
My right foot is basically replaced.
That's when you
9
jumped
screws in a plate.
Okay, yeah.
And then I got this surgery here.
Is that one? Neck. Didn't that happen in early Mason? Not to laugh at it, like it's not. But was that early Mason in Ireland
before you were born?
And it was on camera
in the 90s.
It was on camera.
Yeah,
and
you jumped over a
98.
broomstick or something.
Yeah. By the way, and I didn't Fosbury flop like I used to do. When I was in high school.
Reference. Oh, yeah. Good reference. Right there.
But I jumped and tried to land on my feet and just
didn't work
out. Did not work out.
It's like
what's coming up on the big Mason Island program today?
We are going to be all over all of it.
Okay, well that's what I expected.
All of what?
That's what I figured.
We went to the Dodger game. We went to the Dodger game.
Yeah, we were both at the Dodger game on Saturday.
But not together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I almost.
Beto had the elite.
I was in the family section.
Yeah.
Nice.
I almost went to the Dodger game. We were saying on the 4th of July, and I kind of we were thinking about taking the kids and the fireworks.
God you didn't.
And then I started to get the scores early on. I'm like, oh God, 7-1, 12-1,
What about
15-1.
I felt so bad for those people because they had to sit through the entire thing to see the fireworks.
Like you're buying tickets for fireworks tonight. Like,
and then it just keeps going.
And that's the thing. Like, did losing that badly, especially the Astros, did that impact the fireworks show in a way you're feeling bad, or it's like the first time the firework goes up, and then you're feeling good.
You're relieved. You're like, finally, I get something fun to look at.
So at least like it's the best time to go to an 18-1 blowout.
At least there's a prize at the end.
Yeah,
at least. Where did you watch fireworks? Did you go watch fireworks?
We sort of. Yeah. So we
were
at the
South Bay
thing. Yeah, we were at the beach.
You did the South Bay thing. You and Geeter.
So you see the marina and you see.
Well, so we were a little further south of like in Hermosa, but the clouds you couldn't see them.
The marina, it was super cloudy. Yeah. We can see them from our house, and we couldn't see a damn thing.
Candy. It was fun.
Although, did you see the drone shot flying over the city and all the people sending up their own
That's
fireworks?
From every year.
Every
same one.
You could just send the same
one. A little more subdued this year, though. Wasn't as bad. Yeah.
People are stupid with fire. God, man, don't play with fireworks. It's the worst.
You light it and
worst.
run.
Yeah.
You getting into any All-Star snub talk in baseball?
When I say we're going to get into all of it,
it means all of it.
You mean everything.
It means he hasn't sent anything yet. So
I'm going to do a little research during this break, and then
Miguel
we'll hit
Rojas snubbed.
Yes.
Oh, that's what Beto's
Miguel
here for.
Rojas snubbed.
Pitcher.
Yes.
True. Enjoyed it, my man.
Hey,
yes.
Pleasure.
Very happy.
It's great to be with you.
Yes,
and
sir.
Mason in Ireland coming up next.
Yes.
With Beto.
Mason and Ireland on 710.
The biggest show on the radio.